The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for you. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time, call 844-844-iHeart and get podcasting working for you.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. And today, hey, it's a football Friday. Why not? We haven't done one of those in a while. You got one geared up for us there, Flo?
Football Friday!
Yes. Every day is a football Friday here in the Sportsocracy.
And today you're getting a football Friday from two exemplary citizens.
Yes. Last night we had the great honor of being invited and recognized at the Asheville Police Department annual awards banquet, to which we were given exemplary citizen awards from the APD for keeping everybody informed during Hurricane Helene. And the attaboys continue to come in, and they still feel weird to me, but because we sat through the ceremony last night, listening to story after story of heroism, like actual saving lives in the dirt, like stopping the bleeding on folks to save their lives kind of heroism. Shout out to Doug. But, I went to work. I went to work for a long time. I was locked in here for 4 days, and we were, 12 to 15 hour shifts for 2 straight weeks, but it wasn't all of that. But we appreciate the shout out. Jeremy, you love the fact that you're exemplary now. More than just your mother's eyes.
Well, I do feel like I'm going to carry that plaque around and go, "Don't you mess with me. I am an exemplary citizen."
I asked the police chief whether or not we could carry that around for free drinks. He said we could try.
Let's go.
So,
it worked for me last night.
Did it really?
Oh yeah,
Did you take it to the bar after?
Of course I did. I did. I mean, look, when you're well known as the biggest degenerate in the town, and then somebody says you're exemplary, yeah, you're going to steer into that. Sorry. In our Discord last night that you get for the low cost of just a House of Reprehensibles membership, we were talking last night about how you, David Smith, and myself, we do look rather similar to the current Seth Rollins faction in the WWE. I am Seth Rollins. Okay. He's Braun Breaker. I guess that makes Zach Hurst is probably Seth Rollins. And then I would be Braun Breaker, and David Smith would be Bronson Reed.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that makes you
Bronson Reed. He must be new.
That makes you the wise man, Paul Heyman. But when you are people like that, and then they say exemplary, it makes you feel good.
Does that mean I need to do I grow a ponytail now?
I have never wanted anything more than ponytail Tank Spencer.
Yeah, it will never happen.
What would it cost?
I couldn't do it.
I think you could.
You couldn't do it.
I think you definitely could.
Do you realize how long that would take?
Have you seen my hair?
Oh, okay. Listen,
Yes, I have a pretty good idea of how long that takes.
I shaved my head yesterday, in between work and the award ceremony, which I was late for by an hour.
Sure were.
Get to that complaint in a second. But I shaved my head yesterday. That was the first time I had cut my hair since before we went to the draft. And my hair was not, I mean, it was like there was, maybe a quarter of an inch of fluffy hair in the sink. Like, I think it would take me 10 years to even get enough to put into some kind of a clamp or something. It's not going to work out for me. Okay, Jeremy?
Well, it doesn't work out for Paul Heyman either, but that didn't prevent him from doing it.
The dreams of the mullet. But he's had his forever.
Yeah,
right?
And he's clinging on to that thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's clinging on to that thing like every dude that's dated a Kardashian has clung on to them.
He had a full head of hair in the 1980s and went, nope, this is it forever. It's going to be the same length from nigh on till the end of time.
Yeah, you were incredibly late last night.
I was.
You told me to be early.
Look,
I was the first one there. And I had to sit in the truck I was waiting on Mom and Dad to show up and tell me where to go.
Normally, my children get off of the school bus at 4:30 in the afternoon. No later than 4:35. They got dropped off at 5:37 yesterday.
Yikes.
They were a full hour and 2 minutes late because traffic in South Asheville was absolutely nanners. Apparently there was construction on Brevard Road, and they had the road closed for whatever construction problem there was. Then when they reopened it, some lady immediately ran into the median or the concrete barrier right in front of the school bus. So the school bus had no place to go, so they just had to sit there for an hour until that area cleared up.
This would be example number 4,764 of why Jeremy is happy he lives in North Asheville.
Anyhow, yeah, it was not fun. Thankfully, I didn't even miss any of the ceremony, though. It was supposed to start at 5:30. I got there at just after 6, which, think about that. I picked up the kids in Fletcher, drove them to my house, and got there between 5:37 and 6:02.
Attaboy.
So we made pretty good time getting there.
It took me 7 minutes each way from my house to Highland Brewing and back.
Right. Shut up.
Tank,
enough
it's happened.
Complaining here.
It's
what
happened.
Has happened. What's happened?
Whatever abomination you're about to play on that board, we have our first 2 super chats of the day.
I love it. Time for a super chat.
Show me the money.
Oh wait, that was the one I played the other day.
Yep, that one's awful.
Oh.
I already know that one's awful.
Okay, well how you like this one?
Oh God. Oh my God.
Super chat from Soaring Eagle.
What did you get Lounge Lizard Louie to make that one for you? What in the world was that?
Yeah, it's a little little jazz flavor.
Oh my God, that is and there's more, aren't there?
Yeah.
How many do you have?
There are. I only have 3 right now.
Okay, that means there's still one that can be uncorked at any time.
Oh yeah,
and we're leaving it up to you of when you're allowed to when you do that.
I was gonna say we'll see. We might whip it out for Glue Guy. What other super chat abominations has Tank got? Says Soaring Eagle. Let's hear them and get Jeremy's raw reaction.
That
better or worse than the German sprockets music?
I'll say that one's slightly better. But only because the German sprockets music makes you feel the urge to dance. You didn't really dance to that one. I mean, you did this weird little chair arm thing, but it wasn't as bad as the Sprockets dance.
Well, if that one didn't get you moving, then maybe this one will. For Jonathan Welch. He said, "Why did Jeremy,
unequivocally that's the best one? It's not even. It's not even close. That's the best one.
That one.
That's one. There is no 2, 3, or 4.
That's the one. Okay,
that's
all
the
right.
one.
Wow. All right. Again, how differently we rank things.
Well, I mean, because the first two were abominations against the world. I mean, you should never be allowed to do that ever.
Wasn't. And that one wasn't.
I guess you set the bar so low.
Ridiculous.
You set the bar so low that one screamed over it.
Jonathan Welch asks, why did Jeremy look like he was accepting an award from the Soup Nazi last night? I can answer that. I shared a picture with the group of Jeremy doing some kind of arm scrunchy thing with it, holding his award out in front of him, and the camera did some kind of weird ring thing with his face where he looked like, I don't know, Quasimodo from the
He was going to die in the next 7 days because he watched a video he wasn't supposed to. Right. Okay, so let me explain that because I got asked that a couple times last night when we posted pictures. All right, if you look around the group, Jeremy is the most sizable person in this group by quite a bit. I don't actually realize how much bigger I am than you people until they put me in a picture with you, and I look like I'm going to eat you. Whoever decided to flank me with Josh Michael and Mark Starling, you are a sadistic human because those two make me look bigger than I am. Mm-hmm. So I was the last one on stage, and I didn't know where to go. So I had to scrunch into this little teeny tiny spot. And so I've got my big old arms and my big old gut trying to fit them into a spot that was earmarked for somebody way smaller than me.
Yes, indeed.
I wasn't uncomfortable. I'm very comfortable on stage. It's not a problem. What I'm very uncomfortable with is you put me next to some very fine crystal and didn't give me a whole lot of room to move. That's not on APD. That's on y'all. You know, when you put Quasimodo in the back, he needs some room.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Jeremy's like a bull in a china shop. You got to give him room.
No, the bull in the china shop here is you, clumsoid. I am not a clumsy person.
I didn't.
You are.
Do that. I didn't almost knock the table over. You did.
Look, I was put into a space. Somebody tried to put baby in the corner, and he didn't like it. That's it.
He didn't like it. There was either that rational explanation or you were so pleased with your award you looked at your wife like you were a 4-year-old toddler getting like perfect attendance.
Well, I also didn't know that there was going to be a coin with it, so I was trying to hold it. I didn't, and you were supposed to take a picture, and I didn't. Okay, I didn't know what to do. All right,
right. Once again, we love to thank the Asheville Police Department for including us in the awards banquet last night. If you're just tuning in, we got exemplary citizen awards for our and everybody else from iHeart Radio Asheville's efforts during the hurricane, keeping everybody informed. Eddie Fox and Amanda Fox and Mark Starling did the hosting of the event last night. We just got invited along.
I showed up and I housed some Highland Brewing. They called those sliders. Those bad boys were not sliders. That's full on burger, and I ate 4 of them. Let's go.
All right, we have more super chat action. Curtis Davis.
That's so much better than the other two.
Who's ready for the LeBron farewell tour? Yay.
Oh, did he announce he's done?
Is he got one more year? Is he doing the rocking chair tour? Do we have the official announcement of that today?
I haven't seen it.
I've been waiting for it.
I mean, but it's coming.
Yeah. I mean, I've been waiting for this for a while.
I do love the fact that I watched the Knicks-Pacers game at the Village Porch last night. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie, I have to say this because I came up in the business as a basketball guy, and now I'm a football guy. And I am so glad for that, because the NBA is a lot like watching a adult film with two people you never wanted to see naked in your life.
Really?
I mean, it's a sport that I enjoy. You're just doing it in a way that I don't like at all. Oh, God, the NBA is like eye broccoli to watch at this point. If I saw one more uncontested layup, I was going to scream. And I was watching it with a basketball coach, which that made it so much worse because he and I were just feeding off each other.
I can't tell you the last time I watched one.
I've now done it to myself 4 times in a week, and I don't know why I keep doing it.
I mean, I guess I watched some of the Celtics in the first playoff series, but every time I watch basketball, it's just same thing over and over again.
I would rather watch a blooper
layups, or they're just chucking threes.
I would rather watch the blooper reel from The View than watch another NBA game. And you know what's sad? I'm going to do it again.
Okay, all right. Just living on the edge. Good for you.
It upsets me.
Go back and watch Criminal Minds again.
It's so good.
Anything else?
And now there's a new one. Oh, it's so good. Criminal Minds is back out. Let's go.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I also realized that I missed the back half of last season, so I went, cool, I got something to watch this weekend.
Do we have another?
We do.
Chat.
Show me the money, the money, money. Show me the money. I like the cash.
Yeah.
What is with the whisper is what bothers me so much.
Then we dance. What?
It's the whisper that bothers me so much.
We want the cash.
It's like you went to a section of town you weren't supposed to. You made a transactional relationship agreement, and now it's trying to make you feel better about it. Like,
no, that's the music.
Stop that.
That's the music that was playing in the background in the Blade movie, like when he was in Russia fighting off the vampires. That was the music that was playing in the background.
That is terrible.
Like, oh, he's so sexy.
If somebody doesn't clip that, I'm gonna be so mad because I'm gonna need that for a promo immediately.
No, don't do that.
You saying no just makes it more likely it's gonna happen.
Red Sea says falafel the Braves. We're back. Okay, all right. He's celebrating the fact that we are back on after the doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah, sorry for the unannounced day off. We didn't know until after the show was over.
Right. They called the game on Wednesday afternoon, day-night doubleheader on Thursday. It's not much that we can do.
Jackass wins. Jackass wins the day. I can't say that out loud, but you win the day.
Oh, I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
But I do need the whatever that little accent was he did. I do need that, and I promise I will only use it for nefarious reasons.
Oh, 100%. I can't wait for that embarrassment. Anyhow,
I'm also gonna AI you with a ponytail to make you look more like Paul Heyman.
I don't like how this day is stacking up for me.
The fact you wear the oversized 570 hat, too, that's bigger than your pointy head, it looks like the old school ECW hat. So, it's...
What do you mean oversized?
Well, because you have a pointy head like one of the cone heads, so that form-fitting hat, it makes your head look really little. So you look like Paul Heyman already. Just throw a little ponytail on you.
Awesome. I don't even know why I like you.
I've been trying to figure that out for years. I ask my wife that on a daily basis.
All right, your daily dose of dumbassery will continue here in the Sportsocracy next on a off-season football Friday. We'll be right back.
Now is the
clear
Braves country to cheer a little louder as the 2025 Atlanta Braves start chopping their way back.
Fly ball to deep right, way back and gone. Home run, Ozuna.
Coverage brought to you locally by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The mountain's home for the Braves. Asheville's #1 sports station. ESPN Asheville.
The city.
Las Vegas.
Vegas, make some noise!
The event.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
Live.
Welcome.
One stage.
2 nights. The biggest stars in music return this September.
To make history.
The world's biggest artists are taking this stage.
Stream live only on Hulu.
I said, woo!
Listen right here as the star-studded lineup is revealed.
Tuesday morning.
At 8.
I lived on a commercial salmon fishing boat in Alaska, and I genuinely think that was the first time I've ever felt myself kind of like slipping mentally. I think Alaska does weird things to people.
If you're interested in hearing anonymous callers like this tell stories from their lives, check out my podcast, Therapy Gecko. You can listen to Therapy Gecko on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Therapy Gecko and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this month's Parks Community Heroes, Corey and Kristen Short and the entire team at Silverados, who converted their music venue in Black Mountain into a donation and distribution zone in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Corey and his team founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated to providing essential support to our neighbors in need. Nominate your Parks Community Hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has 2 things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh yeah, and they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of it. Was Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah.
That's terrible.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. Just having fun on a Friday, because why not? Oh, it's summertime. It's time to kick back next to the pool. Although, and got a chance to be at the pool yet because of dang weather. Although hopefully we'll get some good weather one of these weeks. Coming soon.
I feel like I haven't seen the sun in a month. Outside of when I left. I did leave here for 5 days and I didn't see any clouds.
Well, see, your pool opened up like a week early because you guys were there before Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah, we were there weeks
before
Memorial Day. Our pool didn't open
until the Friday of Memorial Day, and it's been nasty, gross weather the entire time. So, hopefully one of these days we'll get to make use out of that thing. But welcome back into the program. Hope that you get what? Welcome back into the. Oh, excuse me. That's my bad.
I was about to say, it can't be coming from me.
As I said. No. That was on my end. My apologies. So, Jeremy, today we've got more off-season grades to get into.
We do.
On the program. We have Who are our teams that we're doing today? It was the New England Patriots.
We decided not to just go full Drake, started from the bottom, now we're here. So we're going to do too bad, then too good, and alternate those until we get to the middle.
Okay.
So we have my two best grades of the offseason, which is the Las Vegas Raiders and the New England Patriots.
Both teams that are going to be in that discussion for who had the biggest improvement year over year, as we've already discussed. Big off seasons for them. We'll go through all of the moves that were made and look forward to that. Post June 1 moves are on the horizon here. The biggest name on the market has to be Kirk Cousins, right?
Well,
I mean, he is still a starting level quarterback in this league.
Is he,
somebody's
though?
going to need one, aren't they?
Is he really a starting level quarterback in the NFL at this point?
Yeah.
So when Atlanta allowed the guarantee to kick in and all those things, we talked about why would they do that? Why would you not just let him go? Well, if you let him go, you still owe him all the money.
Mm-hmm.
There was another element of that nobody wanted to talk about. Not one team in the NFL gave them any form of draft pick compensation for Kirk Cousins where they went, okay, we can deal with that. So now I'm going to ask you the question. Name me the team in the NFL whose quarterback room would improve with Kirk Cousins under the assumption that the Pittsburgh Steelers are signing Aaron Rodgers.
The Indianapolis Colts.
But they're still committed to Anthony Richardson.
Are they? Should they be?
Should they be? No. Are they? Absolutely. So you got to remember what we think about a prospect doesn't matter because we're not getting fired if this doesn't work out. Chris Ballard might. If they have to go into next year's draft, this team goes 6-11. I got news for you. Chris Ballard is going to be putting in a change of address form with the old USPS.
Which would make all the sense in the world for me why he would want a better quarterback in there, so maybe he doesn't go 6-11 because you're about guaranteed to. If Anthony Richardson is as bad as he has been, and Daniel Jones is as bad as he has been.
Well, see, Daniel Jones is the cling-to-life veteran that they already have. I don't think there's a huge difference at this point between Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins. And if you wind up going even 8-9 with Daniel Jones or Kirk Cousins, you're LMNO fired anyway. Because you set a number 3 overall pick on fire for a guy that every single analyst told you not to do that. So that's the thing about taking swings. When you take a swing on a quarterback, you damn well better be right. Because if you're not, you're going to look like a buffoon. And I didn't know anybody that really bought into Anthony Richardson. We all said the same thing. He's got all the raw talent in the world, but he's not a quarterback. The fact he can throw a ball 70 yards doesn't really mean all that much because he's insanely inaccurate. So, I mean, to me, Kirk doesn't really change that much. You're still a good roster with a very bad quarterback situation. So if I take the Colts out, who else you got?
Well, I would say the Cleveland Browns, but there's that whole...
Well, they have 17 quarterbacks anyway.
Uh-huh.
We don't need to add another mediocre quarterback to that. As a matter of fact, we need to take one out, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I was going to say, you can take 2 out and add Kirk Cousins and be just fine.
And still be in the same boat you're in right now. I do think Kirk Cousins is better than Kenny Pickett. I don't think he's markedly better than Joe Flacco. See, I think that's where you and I have a disconnect. Yeah. I don't think Kirk Cousins is any good at this point. I think he's a broken down, 38-year-old quarterback? Is he that old? I think Kirk and I are the same age.
He is 36.
Okay, so he's a little younger than me.
Yes.
But he's also getting ready to be 37. He's 2 months away.
Yes.
And he was terrible last year.
Before the season started.
He was terrible last year in a situation that's exponentially better than anything else he's going to go into. I mean, I see a lot of people saying that Cleveland would be better off with Kirk Cousins. I don't think you would. I'd rather have an actual able-bodied Kenny Pickett who maybe has something. Maybe Terry Bradshaw's right. Than attaching myself with a bad roster to an old quarterback that doesn't do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to understand, a third and a fifth-round pick on quarterbacks does not mean they're committed to squat.
No, it doesn't.
With Gabriel and Shedeur.
Absolutely.
If they wind up with the number 1 pick in the draft next year, guess what? They're taking a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. But if it's all about saving your job, if you're, you always make that argument, well, they're not, Andrew Berry's not tanking. Because he could be on the, Stefanski's not tanking.
I think Andrew Berry bought himself probably another year just solely with the move at the draft. Getting an extra one probably bought him a year. Stefanski, you're a dead man walking. There's nothing you can do. Even if this team goes 8-9, he's still fired.
Yeah,
Say that again?
That doesn't mean you ain't going to try.
And I guess that's where I'm at is you're already in a position that's no different. You give up any form of draft capital, which right now you have to give something up to get Kirk Cousins. This is not just, hey, I can sign him for nothing because they're going to cut him. He's already fully vested. There's no benefit now to them letting him go.
Right. The Minnesota Vikings.
That would be the greatest.
Poetic.
Oh, yeah.
You want to create some real problems up there. Although Kwesi did just get he did just get a contract extension, so maybe he's not interested in bringing the circus to town, which that most definitely would.
I don't think Kirk really matters at this point. He's if you ranked quarterbacks in the NFL, which we did week 2 ago, how many guys that were on that list would you put Kirk Cousins over right now? How many guys that are starting in the NFL would you put him over?
I'm not saying that Kirk Cousins is still, top half of the league, but I would think he's probably in the top 20.
He's not for me.
20, 21, 22, somewhere in that neighborhood.
He's not for me. He's not even close to that for me.
And
I don't know that Kirk Cousins would break the top 30 for me right now. He was. I think you're undervaluing how terrible he was. Oh, by the way, it was behind one of the best offensive lines in the league, with a top 10 receiver and a top 2 running back.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly am I supposed to think is going to get better? You're going to go to one of these dog water teams where you're throwing to Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku, and all of a sudden that's going to get better? I'm going to disagree. Also, you got the fact that I think in a foot race right now, he would lose to me.
Right.
That's a problem. And it was a problem in Atlanta.
He'd be the first call anybody has if they get an injury, right? Starter goes down.
He wouldn't be for me. I actually could name off a handful of quarterbacks that I would call first. Will Levis. Wouldn't think about it twice.
Oh, my.
I'll give Will Levis a second chance. Will Levis can actually move. Kirk Cousins, I feel like when he moves, he creaks at this point. Mm-hmm. Like he needs a good round of WD-40.
He very well may. Maybe the rest last year and the conditioning in the offseason, maybe things are different, right? Best shape of my life. We all get that story during training camp.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't feel like he's cooked.
God, I do. All right, let me ask you a question just for posterity's sake.
Yep.
You have to win a game tomorrow to save your life.
Yes.
Rosters are exactly the same.
Yes.
You going with Joe Flacco or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
And I'll go Joe Flacco. I've seen Joe Flacco take a team to the playoffs recently. And he hasn't really regressed at all. He's the same guy year over year.
I guess he did.
There's no, I guess he did. He did. That wasn't an opinion part of that. He started a playoff game a year ago.
Yeah, but was that because of him?
Deshaun Watson couldn't do it. He could. So, he looked way more competent in Cleveland than Deshaun Watson did. He looked way more competent in Indianapolis than Anthony Richardson did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm still not trusting him to win me a game more than Kirk Cousins.
I'm a level. I'm not trusting either one of them. But if I had to pick between the two, I'll go Joe Flacco.
That's the one you're taking. All right. Kirk Cousins, does he have anything left in the tank? The big problem is the money. Atlanta's going to have to eat that if they get rid of him because nobody's picking that up.
No, and that's where you're stuck.
Right, you're paying him
You painted yourself into a corner.
$27.5 million.
You painted yourself into a corner. This is the problem that we had from Jump Street the minute you took Michael Penix. That makes that contract stupid. I always kind of laugh when people tell me, well, what's the problem of having a backup plan? Well, there's no problem having a backup plan if you put it all together correctly. Kirk Cousins, you were painted in a corner. You keep him on this roster, it's going to keep getting more expensive and more expensive and more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
These two things can't live in a vacuum. Michael Penix Jr. couldn't be a good draft pick and Kirk Cousins be a good free agent signing. There was no path of that. One of them had to flail off into the ocean for the other one to succeed. I have a problem with that. I've always had a problem with that.
No.
And now you're stuck. There's no team in the NFL. I wouldn't give you a 7th-round pick for Kirk Cousins right now. Not and have to pick up the money.
Right.
I get Will Levis for a bag of peanuts. I'm good. And I don't think there's a huge difference between the two.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Who else could move? We'll go through post-June 1 possibles when we come back.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Thank you.
Mountain weather forecast.
We have 2 super chats when we get back.
Showers and thunderstorms tapering off.
Okay.
I just saw them.
Some of these storms could be severe, especially to our east with strong winds and hail. Maybe an isolated tornado. 75 tonight will start to clear. Breezy 53. Isolated afternoon showers, thunderstorms tomorrow. Breezy 73. Sunday, maybe a shower around. Possibly a late thunderstorm, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about essential warm weather styles, just $30 and under, like dresses, shoes and bags, men's, and even kids' looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times
the community leaderboard thing is my new favorite piece of
if so,
YouTube.
You need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-471.
I don't know what that is.
I didn't know what it was either. It just automatically went up there.
Old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million
but it ranked people in the
$200 per month.
chat off their super chats and messages and comments.
Save enough money to lighten the load on your new
Interesting.
It's basically that thing we wanted to do 4 years ago, and now they're doing it for us.
Yes.
2. Call Term Provider at 800-471-9773. 800-471-9773 for $1 million.
I believe that's wildly racist.
Big Lou at 800-471-9773 or biglou.com. That's 800-471-9773 or biglou.com.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the start of summer 2025. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app in your phone today.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody. The Chainsaw Brothers.
Oh, stop playing that.
Having a couple beers, waiting on
before we get sued.
And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees.
Oh, that's good looking at. I've been sent that clip 4 separate times.
Get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a
My wife is texting me from the other room going, why are you giggling like a schoolgirl? Stand by, honey, and I'll show you.
Stand by.
Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chains.
You got it outside?
Neighbors. We're Western North Carolina.
Right.
Do you?
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday.
Yeah.
televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. And today's outside story is another example of how, institutional knowledge is an important thing to have. When you get a new job and you start working for a company and you're going to, be in the business of putting that company's, face and history and, all of that out there in the marketing world, you should be aware of a few things that could cause you issues. We were just talking about the Atlanta Falcons, Jeremy, and did you see the now deleted post that they put out on social media the other day from OTAs with Jesse Bates and Mike Ford?
I did. They trolled themselves, which I'm a huge fan of.
Jesse Bates wears number 3, and Mike Ford wears number 28. And they dared put a photo of those two guys standing beside each other at OTAs out on their social media saying, "We out here." Okay. That was immediately, of course, turned into every Super Bowl joke from the New England Patriots' big comeback against the Atlanta Falcons, as they once trailed that game 28-3. It will never die. Now, the question is, was the intern that put this out stupid, or did they do it on purpose?
I will say they didn't do it on purpose. I think it's funny how often people don't know that the people that are putting out these social media things, there are a lot of social media people that work for teams that don't know jack squat about the sport they cover.
Uh-huh.
I know one specifically, and I'm not going to out who this person is, that asked me at an event, what does DT stand for?
Mm-hmm.
Because on the little thing, it just said DT and a player's name. They asked me, what does DT stand for? Well, that would be defensive tackle, and it bothers me that you work for an NFL team and didn't know that.
You're not allowed to take pictures of other people that are in the media rooms at these things. It's just one of those things you don't do. You don't take pictures inside the room. If I could, though, I would love to have taken a picture of the Twitter table, as I called it. It was the NFL social media table. Did you notice it? Am I the only one that noticed the social media table looked like, a cafeteria table in a high school? And I just looked across the faces at that table going, I'm not real sure how many of you know what event we're at right now. But welcome to the NFL draft.
It does happen from time to time. We have been discussing.
But damn it, they know algorithms, and that's all that matters.
Hey, and that helps.
Wish we had one.
Everybody, no kidding. We have been discussing models for the college football playoff. There's the 5+11 model, the 4-4-2-2-1-3, which sounds like a terrible soccer defense.
Right.
Leave it to Lane Kiffin to be the voice of reason in the room. He was asked which model he preferred, and I think he gave the best answer humanly possible. The best system would be 16, and it would be the 16 best. We don't need automatic bids. Thank you for 2 years later, somebody finally saying the thing that I have been trying to figure out for the better part of 5 years. Why are you worrying about things that don't matter? The SEC's worried about getting 4. I hate to break it to you, you're getting 4 every single year.
Right.
If we do 16 teams, you're getting 4 in this thing every year. The only people that should be worried about, well, are we going to get our champion in, is the group of 5, and 9 times out of 10, you'll get yours in too. Because there's not 16 teams that are going to rank that highly because they beat each other. While you're off playing West Lafayette in Valdosta Institute for the Blind, they're playing, each other. So Boise State, you keep playing nobody, and guess what? Mm-hmm. You're going to be up there because you'll be 12-0. Mm-hmm. One of you's going to be undefeated every single year. It might be Liberty, which, by the way, this is a perfect time for me to interject. For this upcoming college football season, we're going exclusively retro logos.
Uh-huh.
Liberty has the funniest one I've ever seen. I think it was drawn in Microsoft Paint, and it looks like an STD Firebird. I don't know what to do with that. Be sure you follow us on social media because we're going to do some fun things with these logos over the course of about the next 10 days. One of which is me putting it up on the screen and going, hey, what team was this? And I think you're going to miss way more of them than you think you will.
It's an eagle holding the torch, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna draw you a word picture here. It's a bird holding a pipe with flame shooting out of it in his talon, and it just so happens to be really close to his bird bits. You tell me what that looks like. And then you factor in the fact this is the school that brought us Jerry Falwell 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
That is humor at its finest, whether you meant for it to or not.
That was just a warning to all students. This is what can happen
if you hang out with Mr. Falwell.
Sex.
Yeah, if you hang out with Mr. Falwell, this might happen to you. Okay, Falwell Jr. I don't know about the senior. See, I can do it on both sides.
Yeah.
Both of you are entertaining to me.
They hadn't learned about soaking up there at...
I don't even want to know what that means. Please, for the love of God, move on to anything else. I'm scared you're going to elaborate on what you just said.
I'm not going to elaborate on what I just said. I'm going to throw that out there and just... If you know, you know. Because I didn't know, and I found out recently, and I'm mortified by it. Mormons. Weird people. Anyhow.
We have a slew of super chats that we need to get to. And,
do we?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the new super chat noise, which we'll have Monday. I'm making that one, and I'm going to find a way to control it.
Oh, my gosh.
Show me the money, money. Show me the money. I like the cash.
Oh, what's the first one on the list?
I've got the spinning wheel of death. Your terrible song. Now YouTube's just it's wanting to dance to sprockets.
Oh no. Well, I mean it gets you out your seat. That's right. Red Sea super chatted said he sent the clip into the Discord. Yeah, we know Jeremy's been playing it every commercial break in my ear, and I'm begging him to stop.
Oh no,
I feel like that's
23-year radio career. That bad boy's gonna haunt your nightmares for the rest of it.
We're getting phone calls on that one. I think we might get phone calls on that one.
I don't think so.
Soaring Eagle says Jackass had a great request. Falafel the songs and make Tanks "Oh We So Sexy" the new sound. I don't
have a belt, but it's happening.
Stop, guys.
You did this to you. You have no one to blame here but yourself.
Shut up.
Money. Yes, I'm talking about money.
All right, Red Sea says today's outside story. Jeremy is now Ginger Seth Rollins.
Gingy Rollins.
Yeah. And Tank said, "Oh, he's so sexy," into a live radio mic willingly. Happy Friday, everybody. It's the gift that I give to you.
It's a thing that happened today. And unfortunately for Tank, the internet never forgets.
Yeah, apparently so.
And it's not forgetting that one.
Well, thanks. Thanks for that. Who else could be on the move, Jeremy, in this offseason?
Well, the two that I mentioned in the last segment, Will Levis and Joe Flacco are the two. To me, they're the two most interesting because they're so cheap they could actually move. I mean, if I have to give a 7th-round pick for Will Levis, am I going to blink at that? I don't think you will. And I can tell you, there were a lot of people that liked him coming into the draft process. And I think you're going to see another one. I think you're going to see a team go, we'll do it. We'll do it. I mean, I don't know who the team would be. Probably somebody with an older veteran that could just crash into the rocks. Of which, if you had to bet on one of those, who would it be?
An older veteran that crashes into the rocks.
Because to me, there's one that is so abundantly obvious.
Which one are you thinking?
Sam Darnold's the one I'm talking about.
Oh.
If you told me Sam Darnold went to Seattle and 6 games in, you were going, what did we do? I'm not going to be stunned.
Okay, yeah. I guess I wouldn't. See, he's only been on the radar for a year, so.
He's been on my radar for way longer than that.
So I wasn't really thinking about that one. But, yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold probably is the number one candidate for that.
If I were betting on a team that just it doesn't go as well as you think. And look, I believe in Sam. I'm not saying I think that's going to happen. If I was doing the FPI percentages thing of this is the most likely to happen, I would say it's him, Geno Smith, I lied. Aaron Rodgers is the one that makes the most sense in Pittsburgh. The problem is that you would never sit him. Ask me how I know. Learned that one for 2 years, whether I wanted to or not.
He can just pad stats, though, at the end of the year and make it look okay. You won't win anything, but.
If you had to say a fourth one past that, who would it be? I'm just curious if we're thinking the same name.
I keep staring at Jared Goff.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we are not thinking the same thing. I don't see any way that goes. I mean, look, I think Jared Goff is just, he's cemented into he's going to be a top 12 quarterback. Armtown's too good. Offense is too good. Offensive line's too good. The one I keep staring at is Tua Tagovailoa. And we keep just talking like, well, if Tua's upright and healthy. Tua was upright and healthy for last year. That didn't change anything. It changed absolutely nothing.
And if they had to make a move, they're going after Will Levis, you think?
I just don't know where else you would go. I can't imagine you're turning this over to Zach Wilson. Because that's the backup quarterback there now.
Right.
I don't see any path of that actually happening.
Nor do I. That's why I feel like they would be in the Kirk Cousins discussion.
Oh, they don't have money. So here's the problem. You had to pay him in circus peanuts. They're looking at trading Jonnu Smith right now, which, by the way, I want to give this the 30 seconds it deserves.
Okay.
Has nobody told Arthur Smith that he has 5 tight ends? I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be the one having to tell you this, but you're wanting to trade for Jonnu Smith when you already have Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, Donald Parham, Connor Hayward, who basically plays that like H-back. He's really more of a fullback than he is a tight end, but he does line up a tight end at times.
Right.
What do you need with Jonnu Smith? I get it. He's your little toy that you enjoy, but why?
You just got to have him, and he's available. He wants a new contract, so they're trying to get rid of him. I've already coached him twice. Why not again? We could just make all of the Pat Freiermuth fantasy owners ticked off at us. Just like I did when I tried to force him the ball in Atlanta.
Gambit fan said Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith believes the only positions on an offense are running back and tight end. Agreed, which is why I can't wait to see how he gets along with DK Metcalf.
No, there are 3 positions in the Arthur Smith offense. There's running back, tight end, and Jonnu Smith to run as the second tight end.
Ugh. Pittsburgh has I just see, reading the tea leaves, that has the potential to be so unbelievably bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it will be, but I very much see a possibility that Pittsburgh goes as off the rails as we did in the first segment of this show.
That would be
chaos.
For sure.
That would be the greatest version of Hard Knocks ever.
You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Your mountain weather forecast.
This front coming in, bringing scattered showers and thunderstorms, tapering off mid to late afternoon through this evening. Some of these storms could be severe, especially to our east, with strong winds and hail. Maybe an isolated tornado. 75 tonight will start to clear. Breezy 53. Isolated.
Would you stop?
Storms tomorrow. Breezy 73. Sunday, maybe a shower around.
I'm never gonna let
possibly
that
a late
die.
thunderstorm. 75. Under the weather channel. I'm Rogers Race Staging.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hurry in to DQ for their sauced and tossed chicken
All right, I'll
strip
be right
baskets
back.
with flavor from the top, bottom, and everywhere in between. Try them today in Honey Barbecue or New Buffalo, only at DQ. Happy tastes good, only at participating Dairy Queen locations.
How do you spot the all-new Nissan Rogue Rock Creek? Here's a hint. It's got all-terrain tires, a tubular roof rack you can't miss, and it's tough inside and out with lava red detail. You'll also find it in its natural habitat, climbing mountains, attacking rugged trails, and never backing down from any adventure. The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Always secure cargo. Heavy loading of the vehicle with cargo, especially on the roof, will affect the handling and stability of the vehicle.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Don't postpone better sleep. Shop Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale now. Upgrade to a premium bed from a curated selection and take your rest to the next level. Don't miss out. Visit Mattress Firm today. Get matched. Sleep at night.
ESPN Asheville, broadcasting from the Ingalls studio at Radio Ranch. Log on to ESPNAVL.com and make us your #1 preset on the iHeartRadio app. ESPN Asheville, #1 for sports coverage in the mountains.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has 2 things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh, yeah. And they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. this is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville. In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, but just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. The Sportsocracy.
Las Vegas.
The Sportsocracy. Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. Oh, how, personalities, responsibilities can change from hour to hour, day to day, week to week. Because I'm not sure the Asheville Police Department would be too happy putting the exemplary tag on the last hour of the program. However,
you were far from exemplary in the last hour.
They dug it. So it's all right.
And I will never let you live it down.
Listen, sometimes we err. And today I have erred. And I'll never hear the end of it. Thanks to all of you. So that's what we're, it's like a big family here. That's what it's all about. Welcome into the program here on ESPN Asheville. Don't forget, you can super chat and join us on the YouTube stream. Just subscribe to the channel. Hear us everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Want to throw out a congratulations to, I believe it was David and Adam, who are our two winners heading off to see the Braves this weekend, thanks to ESPN Asheville and the Braves Radio Network. Braves Radio Network will have the full coverage of the Braves and the Red Sox series here on ESPN Asheville all weekend long, brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Braves and the Red Sox on Sunday. I will be down there. Ariel's going as well from Star 104.3. And we'll be hanging out with all of our winners. So congratulations, everybody be safe, and we will see you down at the game. And I will try to keep from having too many terrapins, like I always do every time I go to Truist Park. But it has to be done. I can't get that Hopsecutioner terrapin ale up here. So I got to get as much as I can when I go down to Atlanta. It's one of my favorite regional beers. Jeremy doesn't have those. He sticks with domestic lights, available everywhere.
What beer would you like, Mr. Green? What do you have that ends in light? I'll take that. I'll tell you, I just discovered the beauty that is a natural light. I hadn't had one of those in years.
Beauty?
Oh, yeah. That's the ultimate breakfast of champions. A little toot of Fireball and the natural light. Woohoo! That's a treat. It's hard to beat, boys. That is a treat that is hard to beat. Had it on the golf course for 3 days.
Like.
No, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I saw the can and went, I haven't seen you in forever.
Oh, my.
And now, reunited, and it feels so good.
Quantity over quality. For Jeremy.
For sure. I want something I can drink 42 of, and that wins.
But you could just, never mind.
And the purveyors of Natural Light, if you would like for to have a very large, very vocal sponsor of your beer, I'm not a hard man to find.
Yeah, that just ensures, though, that you can never get rid of the mullet.
I'm fine with that.
You can't pitch Natty Light and not have a mullet.
Look, you saw how coiffed this the moulet was last night. We figured this out.
Right. Jeremy likes water flavored like beer. We got it. Okay. All right.
It's called social lubrication, Tank. Social lubrication.
Indeed. Did not have a lubrication on the Sportsocracy bingo card today, but alas, here we are.
Kevin Vick said, Football Friday. I got to get Kevin Vick's comment in here because it's too good. Said some of us like beer that doesn't taste like liquid pine cones and deer urine. Bingo. Anytime somebody says, "Hey, I found this new beer," what's on the bottle? Like, is it a weird picture? Is it a picture of like a squid holding a championship belt? Out.
That's actually a pretty spot on analogy there.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Jeremy, I found the I'm going to call this the odd ranking of the day.
Okay.
You know me, I have to be as nice as possible in these situations. And I don't want to come out and call this just absolutely nanners crazy. But today, NFL lead draft writer Eric Edholm put out a top 10. The top 10 most complete teams in the NFL for the 2025 NFL season. It begins, as one would expect, with, the championship level teams. Number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. The Detroit Lions are 3, the Chiefs are 4, and the Bills are 5. It was at that point, though, where we took a turn, I feel. And I'll leave it up to you to tell me where you think Eric Edholm aired. In the following on the list, number 6, the Minnesota Vikings. Number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 8, the Green Bay Packers. 9, the San Francisco 49ers. And number 10, the Denver Broncos. It was real strong for the first 5. And then there were some glaring omissions, I feel like.
I don't disagree with as many of those as you think I'm going to.
Well, okay.
All right, so you're going to have to give me the tenet of I can't see the article. So
yes.
What was he talking about? Just from 1 to 53, the most balanced roster, not huge glaring holes, or
most complete teams.
Okay,
filled up at the most position groups.
Okay, so the top 5 makes perfect sense.
Yes.
You said the Vikings were 6?
The Vikings are 6.
The Vikings should be in the top 10, but not that high.
Mm-hmm. I will agree with you. Because at 6, you have a giant question mark.
Well, I mean, my biggest question is why are the Los Angeles Chargers not on this list? And there's not a reason on this planet that's going to make enough sense for me to not go, you screwed that one up.
I mean,
because the Chargers should be 6 for me. If we're just talking about balanced roster, okay, that team has no huge question marks outside of receiver, and they have about 50 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is just good. Everything else is just good. I think it's just a good team.
I mean, pass rush, aging Khalil Mack.
And Tui Pelotu.
Tuli Tuipulotu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were good. They were good letting Bosa walk out the door because of Tui Pelotu.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think like where is the hole?
I don't know. Because I mean I hate to tell this to you, but Tui Pelotu is an improvement over Bosa. Nobody wants to hear that because Bosa's a bigger name.
Right.
But he's an improvement over what you've gotten from Joey Bosa over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If it's consistent, yeah. I can get down that path with you. Backup weapons, that's the only thing I got. And the tight end. Because I don't believe in any of the ones that you have.
They signed Tyler Conklin, the most stable, steady tight end in the NFL.
Agreed.
That's not a hole. Like, I mean, if we're talking about a hole, you have to be bad at a place. They're not bad anywhere. They should certainly be on this list. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, you said Tampa Bay was 7?
Yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 7.
Yep, and here's where we've officially gotten into the Eric Edholm may have done crimes. What are you talking about? You've got holes on the offensive line. I couldn't definitively tell you one player in their front 7 outside of Vita Vea and Levante David that I really 100% trust.
Mm-hmm.
And you're giving a lot of credit to a secondary that I don't buy that much. I like Zion McCollum coming out. He's shown me very much who he is, and it ain't great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Tampa Bay being in the top 10 is insanity. Because even some of the things you're going to tell me you can count on, you shouldn't be counting on it that much. Like, if you trust Baker Mayfield at this point, you're a braver man than I am.
Well, I mean, it's now to the point of, can it get any better? Or
at 30 years old, you think he's going to get better?
Not him, per se, but the team. Does the protection get better? Does the defense get better? Does this team get better around him? I mean, what he did last year, it's hard to expect Baker Mayfield to do any better than that.
Well, I mean, he's never come close to any of it.
Right.
That's the funniest. That's the funniest part of this whole Tampa Bay thing to me. I have not gotten more flack about anything I've said all offseason than what I say about Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is directed at all of you that want to flood our YouTube comments and all that. It's easier for me to just say it this way than to respond to all of you. You understand that you're taking a guy whose career year was at least 10 to 15% better in every statistical category. And you think that's who he is as opposed to who he had been for 6 years before that?
It's what he's grown into. The leader.
Oh, yeah, he grew into it at 30 years old. Hey, can you name me an example of a guy that's actually done that?
Well, a guy who got better.
A guy who was genuinely awful for 7 years. And before you fire me, Geno Smith, because I feel like that's the one. Sam Darnold wasn't awful. Sam Darnold was in awful positions. Baker Mayfield played for Sean freaking McVay. I'm sorry, those two things are not the same.
And
I get it was only for 5 games.
I was going to say, and he was really good for 1 game.
And he was awful for 4. To the point that Sean McVay went, no, I'm good. I mean, I know my quarterback's 48 million years old. I'm good. I'll pass.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina
Baker
Panthers
Mayfield
took 7 games for them.
Cleveland. those other times. And
that Cleveland team made the playoffs. So, in spite of Baker, not because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't believe me, he had a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That's never in the history of the NFL has a team made the playoffs because of a guy that started 14 games, threw 17 picks and 13 interceptions. Not happened, not once. They made the playoffs because that defense was really good. I get so irritated when people say, well, he succeeded with the Browns. It was the best Browns roster they've had in 45 years. And no, they wouldn't take him back. If you don't believe me, ask them. They're not real shy about it.
Mm-hmm.
The belief in Tampa Bay blows my mind, but that's not the only one. I don't really have a problem with Green Bay. I get it. Maybe 8's a little high, but they don't really have question marks on the roster outside a corner, and if they keep Jair Alexander, you're at least serviceable at every position.
I was going to say that's one. That's one unquestionable player in the secondary.
I believe in Hobbs. I believe in Hobbs. I believe in Xavier McKinney. They've got a lot of guys that I believe in. I don't know who the number one corner is going to be if there's no Jair Alexander. With him, I'm good. You can have them at 8. I feel like you want me to say Denver's too high, and I think they're too low.
I would agree with you.
Denver would probably be my 7.
Denver's got another. That's another Minnesota though. You got a pretty. I don't want to say it's kind of glaring hole. I don't trust Bo Nix.
I don't trust. Okay, you were about to compare Bo Nix and J.J. McCarthy, and I can't get down with that. I know what Bo Nix is.
No, I meant I was meaning more of the situation. I mean, yeah, it's not as big of a question as Minnesota, but I still wondered how long this can last, or is this who Bo Nix is? Is this gross Sean Payton football?
Bo Nix can be a serviceable NFL quarterback. I think we put him at 21 when we were ranking quarterbacks?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I'm fine with that when your roster's this good. Now, I think the schedule's evil. But I'm fine with Denver being there. The one I'm stuck on is San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't know how you get there.
We have a super chat that steers into San Francisco. Should I play my super chat noise now too? It's right there. Whenever. Soaring Eagle said, Eric Edholm, blink twice if you've been kidnapped by Tank's sexy vampires. I can't figure out what it is in San Francisco that everybody believes in so much. Like, if you're telling me that roster from 2 to 53 is top 10 in the NFL, I don't need to hear another word you have to say because you're out of your damn mind.
Right.
I mean, they have 5 glaring holes on this team. I mean, I'll be honest with you. San Francisco has the worst roster in their own division. Like, they should be behind all 3 teams in their own division.
Mm-hmm.
And you have them in the top 10 most balanced rosters in the league? Nah, dog. That's going to be a no from me. How many teams would you put in front of San Francisco?
Ooh, well, I mean, we've got the Chargers.
Yep.
We've got the Commanders, which we haven't even mentioned yet.
Nope. I was going to get there, but give
the
you my
Houston Texans.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons ahead of San Francisco.
If we're just talking about roster and you're not putting that much into quarterback, which I got news for you, you've already told me you're not because Minnesota's 6.
Right.
Atlanta has a better roster than virtually every team we've said here. The question is, you got a young rookie quarterback. So if you're only taking that as one drawback and all of these things are equal, Atlanta should be there. The Chicago Bears should be there.
Agreed.
Because 2 to 53, that roster is about as good as you'll see in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe in their quarterback, but you've already told me that doesn't really matter.
Well, maybe it matters if you do believe, right? If you do believe in the quarterback, then maybe that does sway you, and maybe Eric Edholm is he's a Brock Purdy truther. I don't know that. I'm just saying maybe.
Well, then that means he completely took
actually,
the other 9 teams and went, nope, that only San Francisco. They're the only one that matters.
Actually, one of the first sentences of the recap here, or the analysis here, was Brock Purdy earned in italics his new long-term deal. Though some doubters might question whether he's a top 10 quarterback, the 49ers are better off with him than they would have been with any reasonable alternative.
I don't disagree with the last line there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. But the question is, did he earn $250 million? Is he that player?
No.
Because I don't feel like he was. And a lot of people don't feel like he was. But you felt like you had to because you went with the market. You put a lot of faith into Ricky Pearsall. I have seen his name mentioned up and down throughout this offseason as next breakout player. But I still look at Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, and Ricky Pearsall and go, that's okay. If those 3 wide receivers played for the Baltimore Ravens, I would be screaming, get Lamar another weapon.
Yep.
Because I've been doing it. I've been doing it for the last 7 years, it feels like. Oh, good, you got one wide receiver that I might be able to trust.
I mean, Ricky Pearsall's fine. I think Juwan Jennings is the best receiver on that roster.
You think Juwan Jennings is the best? Is that what you said?
I would take him over everybody who's lined up at receiver. I mean, Kittle's better than him, obviously. A healthy Christian McCaffrey's better than him, but yeah, Juwan Jennings is the number 1 receiver on that team, to me.
Yeah. With the influx of young talent, 6 draft picks, all of whom could be factors as rookies. Mykel Williams, Alfred Collins, C.J. West, Nick Martin. Add in Nick Bosa, and this is an almost complete team. The problem, the defensive interior lacks depth, and the secondary remains riddled with questions.
That's a really nice way of saying they're really bad.
Right. Then how is that one of your most complete teams?
No clue. Joshua Penix in our YouTube chat said, honestly, you could argue they have the worst roster in the NFC. And I thought that was crazy when he said it. And then I've looked at it and gone, that's not crazy. I think the only teams that they're even in competition with are the Giants, the Cowboys, the Saints, and the Panthers. And I'll be honest with you, I would take 2 of those rosters off the top of my head ahead of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Carolina and the Giants, for if you were keeping score.
So that's not even top 10 in their own conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, here again, you have just the blind faith that things are going to be fine in San Francisco. I guess that's the part I can't really get to, is that you looked at the defense and you went, oh, look, 6 rookies. That's worked out great for San Francisco.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, we have breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
I'm reasonably sure that Robert Saleh heard me say this earlier this week. The San Francisco 49ers have signed Chaz Surratt.
He just can't quit him.
He can't. Him and Thomas Morstead. Gotta have my Jet guys here, the ones I really trust. Okay. If he plays 5 snaps for San Francisco, that tells me everything I need to know.
Mm-hmm. Chaz Surratt joining the San Francisco 49ers. He's a glue guy.
Glue guy. Glue. No,
glue
Chaz.
guy.
Yeah, Chaz Surratt's not a glue guy. He's a Chaz Surratt is a lottery ticket that you've already scratched off all the numbers on, but you just really need to take it to the gas station to have them scan it to tell you it's a loser.
Yeah.
Because you don't trust yourself. Maybe I missed a number. I'm not good with numbers.
Hey, Although, think about this. If Brock Purdy were to, God forbid, get hurt, Chaz could play quarterback. Who's
probably better than Mac Jones?
Thank you. Wow. When did that happen? Did that happen recently?
Free agency.
Really?
It was one of the. I believe that was the first player San Francisco signed.
Really?
Oh, and we have more breaking news. Comes from Randy L in our YouTube chat.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Jackson Dart has officially signed with the New York Football Giants, which means we're down to only 5. There are only 5 unsigned first-round draft picks left. Travis Hunter, Will Campbell, Shamar Stewart, Walter Nolan, and I don't remember the 5th one.
Okay. Now we're still only at 2 second-round picks.
Yep.
Correct?
We're just hanging out, waiting on somebody to – who's going to be the one that doesn't take fully guaranteed money? That's officially getting to that point of, oh, this is going to go on way longer than it should.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing about that is it only takes one of them to sign before all of them sign. Howie Roseman, I'm looking right at you. You can shut this whole thing down. Just sign Andrew Makoba, give him fully guaranteed money, and the other 29 picks will sign by the end of the day. They all know how much money they're getting. It's just that's the one thing that's still a hang-up.
Is whether or not you're getting guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we said this the other day. I have no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Second-round picks, where we're at with how deep these classes are, second-round picks probably deserve fully guaranteed money.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We'll be back right after this.
The city.
Las Vegas.
And we're clear.
Thank you.
The event.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
Live.
Welcome.
One stage.
2 nights. The biggest stars in music return this September.
To make history.
The world's biggest artists are taking this stage.
Stream live only on Hulu.
I said, woo!
Listen right here as the star-studded lineup is revealed.
Tuesday morning.
At 8.
How do you spot the all-new Nissan Rogue Rock Creek? Here's a hint. It's got all-terrain tires, a tubular roof rack you can't miss, and it's tough inside and out with lava red detail. You'll also find it in its natural habitat, climbing mountains, attacking rugged trails, and never backing down from any adventure. The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Always secure cargo. Heavy loading of the vehicle with cargo, especially on the roof, will affect the handling and stability of the vehicle.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I lived on a commercial salmon fishing boat in Alaska, and I genuinely think that was the first time I've ever felt myself kind of like slipping mentally. I think Alaska does weird things to people.
If you're interested in hearing anonymous callers like this tell stories from their lives, check out my podcast, Therapy Gecko. You can listen to Therapy Gecko on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Therapy Gecko and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
The iHeartRadio app now has presets, just like in the car. You're our #1. Make us yours. ESPN Asheville, the mountain's favorite sports station, streaming 24/7. Your home for the Sportsocracy. Weekdays at noon. The Tar Heels and Atlanta Braves baseball.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this summer's Parks Community Hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. A critical need exists today. Join us on June 27th at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Help save a life and donate blood, and make a direct impact in our community and support all of our community heroes. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is a football Friday. News in the NFL today. The Vikings have signed Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah to a multi-year contract extension, a 5-year contract extension. And, after the year that they had last year, I think it's a pretty good idea for him to get this done before, the unknown of what's to come with J.J. McCarthy as your starting quarterback. Although you can ride Justin Jefferson for a long time. And the rest of this team is not bad. The rest of the team is pretty good. Even with J.J. McCarthy, they would be top 10 for you, Jeremy?
I mean, the way that system's done. I mean, if Bo Nix doesn't hamper Denver, if Brock Purdy doesn't hamper San Francisco, if Jordan Love doesn't hamper Green Bay, that means you're not waiting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, if we're just everything's equal and we're talking about number of holes on a roster, I think Minnesota's got a top 10 roster.
Yep.
I think you will be lucky to have a top 25 quarterback, but that's just because I don't. By the way, I did go back and do the deep dive on J.J. McCarthy.
Uh-huh.
Not much really changed for me.
Didn't see anything.
No, because
too hard on him about, or
no, and I want to elaborate on this.
Okay.
What some people consider a tight window throw is not necessarily what I consider a tight window throw. If you were late on a throw, which he was regularly, if you're late on a throw and you threw it into a crossing linebacker or something like that, I don't really care. What I'm looking at is when the receiver doesn't win and you have a disadvantage between the corner and the receiver. So you've got a better corner on your receiver. How often are you getting the ball to that guy with better coverage on top of him? I don't see that very often with him. He can fit a ball into a window because he's got a lot of zip. But a lot of the times when I saw what I would consider a tight window throw, it was against Northwestern. Or I've never been overly impressed with the kid. I think he has a good arm, but I don't know how that's going to translate. Then you add in the year off. There's a lot about J.J. McCarthy that I don't love. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I was wrong.
I was going to say, I mean, but if he's got a good arm, and you say that, you're not wild about the accuracy.
No. That's not what I said. Okay. I said I don't think he's going to be able to get balls to receivers that are not getting themselves open. I don't really worry about him getting the ball to Justin Jefferson because Justin Jefferson makes every corner in the NFL look like me. What I'm more worried about is how are you going to get it to Jalen Naylor? How are you going to get it to T.J. Hawkinson, who's never open? Mm-hmm. T.J. Hawkinson probably runs about a 4.8 40 at this point. He's just big and he's physical. That was what Darnold did so well, is that he could hit Jordan Addison over the top. He could hit T.J. Hawkinson. He could... But I think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
Again, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. People think sometimes that that you're wrong when you're not. Bo Nix, I wasn't wrong on Bo Nix. I was wrong on the Denver Broncos. But I told you Bo Nix will come in as a 5 or 6 year starter. I can't remember which one. He's going to come in and be fine. I just don't think he has any ceiling whatsoever. He's not going to get any better. Mm-hmm. And that was my drawback. J.J. McCarthy's got a lot of room to grow. If Kevin O'Connell's made him his little pet project, he could come out and look like a quarterback that I've never actually seen before. Saying that I'm down on McCarthy is actually way more risky than, I'll say, probably any quarterback I've ever been this dogmatic about.
Right. Does this have anything to do with your trust level in Kevin O'Connell?
No.
Kevin McCarthy.
I think Kevin O'Connell's a really good offensive coach. All right, I'll go down this rabbit hole. I think Kevin O'Connell is what people are doing with J.J. McCarthy. They trust O'Connell because he got good out of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was good before Kevin O'Connell ever walked in the door. Mm-hmm. He got good out of Sam Darnold. That was the best situation that Sam Darnold's ever been in. I think he's good with quarterbacks. Look, he was with the Jets, and I can tell you guys that were with the Jets when he was there were like he was another coach on the sideline. I think he's a really, really smart guy. There are certain things that quarterbacks do or do not have that will completely break their careers. I've never seen J.J. McCarthy exhibit probably 5 of the 7 I'm looking for. I don't see guys find that very often. I'm not going to say it's never happened. It was one of the problems I had with Caleb Williams. People watch the Caleb Williams tape and go, look at the tape, it's so good. I've watched quarterbacks for 15 years. I've actually done it longer than that. I've done it to the point of I had to evaluate them for 15 years. I know what I'm looking at. And Caleb Williams was not a hard eval. He throws into wide open spaces very, very well. Does it not strike you as odd that Keenan Allen had his worst statistical season as a pro with Caleb Williams? Does that strike anybody as odd?
No.
Shouldn't. Because that's not what he does. It was a terrible, terrible combination with Caleb Williams. Mm-hmm. Randy L. said, I feel like I'm alone and still not being sold on Caleb. You're not, because I'm right there with you. I still look at Caleb Williams. He's the same guy I evaluated a year ago. I'll tell you another thing, and this is not – I'm not trying to hammer on Ben Johnson at all. He said something about the tush push the other day that it scared me to death. Not because of what he was talking about, but because of the way he said it.
Okay.
He was talking about the tush push.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, is there any chance for the tush push to be an explosive play? I don't really – I want explosive plays. Okay, that worries me a lot with Caleb Williams. That worries me a ton with Caleb Williams.
But why? Why does that worry you?
Because Caleb Williams is not a press it down the field guy.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams will not let a ball come out of his hand that he doesn't know exactly where it's going to land. So unless you're going to completely hard circuit his brain, this combination is going to be as weird as I thought it was the day he signed there. The day Ben Johnson took that job, I said this is a terrible combination because Caleb Williams is not that guy. And now to pull that back to J.J. McCarthy, I feel like a lot of people are eschewing the things that you see on tape with McCarthy because they believe in O'Connell. All of these things have to lock up in lockstep. I'll give you an example. I was really high on Jaden Daniels. He was my number 1 quarterback in the class last year. I loved the fit in Washington. I said routinely, Chicago's going to regret they took Caleb Williams over Jaden Daniels.
Right.
Jaden Daniels fits in practically any system you can put him in. The question was, is he going to be good or is he going to be great? Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy do not fall into that. Bo Nix does not fall into that. Bo Nix went into a great situation with Sean Payton because he fits that scheme well, and I said that over and over again. Drake May, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little worried about Drake May because I don't know what that fit with Josh McDaniels is going to look like, and I don't think he's that good of a coordinator. McDaniels worked wonders with Tom Brady. I'm not sure that Courage the Cowardly Dog couldn't have been Tom Brady's offensive coordinator, and he'd have still been really, really good. So I'm always reticent to give guys credit for things that I don't necessarily think you deserve credit for.
Right.
I don't think Kevin O'Connell got the most out of Sam Darnold. O'Connell put Darnold in a situation he had never been put in before.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we come back, off-season grade time. Since you brought them up, why don't we talk about those New England Patriots after this?
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Your mountain weather forecast.
This front coming in, bringing scattered showers and thunderstorms, tapering off mid to late afternoon through this evening. Some of these storms could be severe, especially to our east with strong winds and hail. Maybe an isolated tornado. 75 tonight will start to clear. Breezy 53. Isolated afternoon showers, thunderstorms tomorrow. Breezy 73. Sunday, maybe a shower around. Possibly a late thunderstorm, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by WhatsApp.
Wondering what a personal message with your credit card number has in common with way too many pictures of your dog? Well, they're both private. Because on WhatsApp, your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even us. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the start of summer 2025. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app in your phone today.
For the 2025 Atlanta Braves, it's time to dial in, which means every game means a little more.
First pitch, ground ball right side. Diving stop by Ozzie. Got him. Whoa, what a play by Albies.
Coverage brought to you locally by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Experience the Parks promise today.
We have a trade.
That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The mountain's home for the Braves on Asheville's #1 sports station. ESPN Asheville.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls, low prices. Love the savings.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343.
We doing weird here?
Let's make your real estate dreams
weird
a
into
reality.
breaking?
I'm your trusted realtor.
Yeah, or we can skip it and do breaking into the off-season grade.
I have a weird story I
And
want to tell, though.
Balls. Bears.
Oh, okay.
Pulled pork, cornbread.
It's a gross
and
Well, I'll skip mine. You just tell yours, and that'll save us time.
Okay.
Music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
And we are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy, how weird does it get today?
My story is one of the grosser things you will ever hear in your life. Do you know who Sydney Sweeney is?
No.
I don't know why she's famous. I know her face because she comes up in the in discussions on social media things from time to time. I don't know who she is. I don't know why she's famous. She has now teamed up. Wait, did you figure out who she is?
Yeah. She was for superhero movie fans, she was like the female Spider-Man, and that really bad one.
There was a female Spider-Man?
Yeah, it was called Madam Web. I didn't watch it. I saw pieces of it as my kids were watching it. It was gross.
That sounds...
It was not interesting.
To me, Spider-Man movies, grossly overrated. But that's just me. Spider-Man, also grossly overrated superhero. But that's a story for another day. Sydney Sweeney is famous for something. She has now teamed up with soap brand Dr. Squatch, which is phenomenal soap.
Yep, love it.
They have introduced a new soap, Sydney's Bathwater Bliss.
Excuse?
It's exactly what you think it is. A very real, very limited edition soap made with Sydney Sweeney's actual bathwater.
No.
Okay. First of all, Dr. Squatch makes a great product.
Uh-huh.
They're giving away 100 bars of this soap beginning yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And only 5,000 will be available for purchase on June the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And now I ask you, what kind of person would buy this? And why in my head do they look like you?
Me?
You. Oh, yeah. I didn't say you would do it. I said it's going to be people that could be confused for your doppelganger. I can see a Tank Spencer doppelganger that spends a lot of his time in a Dungeons and Dragons message board going, I can buy her bathwater. Give me 40 bars. The number one thing I'm excited about this is that I will wager of the 5,000 people that actually buy this, 4,973 of them needed a bath real bad. So Dr. Squatch doing the Lord's work, just doing it in a real gross way.
We have a super chat on this topic.
Show me the money, money. Show me the money. I like the cash.
It's from Red Sea. I had to play the sexy music. He says, as stupid as this is, I know at least 3 guys who would buy this. Stop being friends with those people.
Is there a celebrity that they could do this that you would buy it?
No. Their bathwater? That's just disgusting.
I mean,
I don't even like the thoughts of my own bathwater, much less somebody
else's. Trust me, if they made one of these for you, that would sit on a shelf for a long time.
No doubt.
We could go through an apocalypse, and there would still be people going, I ain't washing with that.
This is like somebody that would buy toenail clippings. This is like the person who bought that OnlyFans person's farts in a jar. It's that gross.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
I do.
$40,000 a month selling farts in a jar.
I do.
That's the kind of thing that this is. It's gross.
Oh.
I don't care how hot you may or may not be. I do not want to smell like your bathwater. It doesn't make any sense. And that's
not
the
good.
Other part. I don't even know who this person is.
Red Sea also said, why is she famous? Her face. Okay. It's fine.
Is it?
She's no Mila Kunis. Just throwing that out there.
Most definitely.
Which, by the way, if there was an answer for me on this, that might be the one.
That's the Mila Kunis.
Mila, I got news for you. If you decide to go down this path, I'm not saying I'm going to buy it. I just would like to be on the mailing list to know that it was readily available.
It's disgusting. It's gross. It's like Gwyneth Paltrow's candles. Stop that. No one needs that. Please tell me you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't hear what you said. I was reading super chats. I apologize. Say it again.
I said this is like Gwyneth Paltrow's candles.
Oh no,
nobody needs that either.
No, gross. Stop that. I don't even like that you just said that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Very similar. But
there
are enough sick people in this world
That is the equivalent of that is the female equivalent of the unsolicited Dak Prescott picture. Nobody asked, nobody wants it. Stop being gross. We have another super chat on this topic. Curtis Davis, and I love somebody that will call themselves out for things, said, yeah, who would buy that? Hoping no one knows I own 30 of the Justin Herbert Fresh bars? What is that? What is that?
Don't know. Apparently Justin Herbert did some Dr. Squatch stuff, maybe?
Hey, look, if it's not made with his sweat, I'm fine with it.
Herbert, it was a Dr. Squatch brand.
It is.
Herbert Fresh.
That's fine. That's just something that he repped. I totally understand why you own that.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that sells for $45 a bar on eBay. Get out of here. I'm going to
Just
invest
wait till you find out what this is going to sell for.
I'm going to invest in. I'm going to buy 1,000 bars of this Sydney Sweeney soap, and then I'm going to sell it at Comic-Con. You know what? Actually, I'm going to take off the month of July because I'm going to hit the Comic-Con circuit and sell the Sydney Sweeney soap for $5,000 a bar.
Right. She apparently was also in The Handmaid's Tale. I never saw that either.
Never even heard of that. That sounds like something that you would get on on pay-per-view in a hotel room after about midnight. Mm-hmm. That's a great joke. You may not have appreciated it, but that was a great joke.
I didn't appreciate that. Let's hit some breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
You will also have to hit your super chat button for that because we got breaking news through a super chat. I hate that button. I hate that button so much. That makes me feel like I'm in a lounge in Vegas about to lose my life savings on a blackjack table. From Soaring Eagle, we have breaking news. It's a trade alert. Bryce Huff is being traded to the San Francisco 49ers for a mid-round pick.
Oh, most complete team. That's the hole. They filled the hole.
Oh, I'm not going to lie to you. That's my favorite move of their offseason so far. And it's not even kind of close. Now you put Bryce Huff on the opposite side of Bosa in pass rushing downs? Okay, now we're talking. Because I got news for you. Mykel Williams is not going to be it. He's not. That's not who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Huff can be. Bryce Huff led the NFL in pass rush win rate his last year playing with Robert Saleh. He made a bad decision to go to Philadelphia. They changed the defense. Now he goes back into the defense he's comfortable in on the opposite side of Bosa with those young guys. That is, I will say that's one of my top 3 favorite moves of the offseason.
Wow. Okay. I didn't think it was possible to get one that impactful late in the process, but here we are.
Well, because you took a player that was completely worthless to Philadelphia because he can't play in their scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Then you put him in the perfect scenario. He goes back to the coach that he's comfortable with. It fills a hole for them, and it didn't cost them that much. By the way, here's another thing. And sorry, I do have to take the shot at San Francisco. You giving up a mid-round pick doesn't mean squat to me because you were probably going to use it on some fullback from Towson. So I don't really care. I know what he is. He's really good. I watched him with my team for a lot of years, and I hated when he left.
Mm-hmm.
He is awesome in this defense. I'm trying to think if there's a move I've liked better than this all offseason long. I cannot think of one.
Wow.
This may be my
That's
favorite move of the offseason.
Okay. High praise. Bryce Huff going to the San Francisco 49ers. And what did they give up?
Mid-round pick. We don't have a definitive on that. The deal can't be physically completed until tomorrow because that's post-June 1. So we might know what they gave up today.
post June 1 is not until Monday. June 1 is Sunday.
June 1st is Sunday.
Yes.
Post June 1 means after midnight on June 1st. So,
okay.
Sorry, I forgot there were 31 days in May. Can we just the same number of days in every month? Can we just do that?
We could.
I'm an almost 40-year-old man. I don't need to be breaking out my knuckles to go January, February, March, April, May. Oh, May's got 31.
What was it? The way it all breaks down, like all of them could have 28 days, and we'd be fine.
All of them could have 28 days, and there'd be 13 months, and we're fine.
Yeah,
it adds a day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By the way, people that made calendars, why'd you not figure that out, bro?
No clue.
The calendar's so stupid. But we have 366 days over 4 years.
But then the knuckle reminder wouldn't work, right?
Well, we wouldn't need it.
February, March. Yeah.
Then we wouldn't need it.
It's true.
If there are 4 weeks in every year, there would still be 52 weeks.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back at the top of the hour, it will be, last hour for the week. And we've got off-season grades to do, plus we've got another 2 a day on the 100 prospects in 100 days countdown. We'll be right back.
ESPN.
Clear.
Thank you.
Your mountain weather forecast.
This front coming in.
So do Raiders first, prospects in the middle, Patriots at the end.
Yeah. These storms could be severe, especially to our east with strong winds and hail. Maybe an isolated tornado. 75 tonight will start to clear. Breezy 53. Isolated afternoon showers, thunderstorms tomorrow. Breezy 73. Sunday, maybe a shower around. Possibly a late thunderstorm, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
The school year is ending and you can experience summer savings you can drive away with at Apple Tree Acura. Don't make a payment until the end of summer break. More cash in your pocket for summer with Apple Tree Acura, I-26 Airport Road, Asheville. This June 8th, run with purpose in the RAD Half Marathon and 10K, a race to rebuild the River Arts District after Hurricane Helene. Every step you take helps support local artists, small businesses, and nonprofits like Open Hearts Art Center and River Arts District Artists Foundation. You'll get an eco-friendly race shirt by Recovery Brands and celebrate at the finish line with a beer from Rad Highwire Brewing, right where the community is rising again. Sign up today at idaf.net. That's idaf.net and be part of the comeback. Run Rad. Rebuild Rad.
How do you spot the all-new Nissan Rogue Rock Creek? Here's a hint. It's got all-terrain tires, a tubular roof rack you can't miss, and it's tough inside and out with lava red detail. You'll also find it in its natural habitat, climbing mountains, attacking rugged trails, and never backing down from any adventure. The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Always secure cargo. Heavy loading of the vehicle with cargo, especially on the roof, will affect the handling and stability of the vehicle.
Get the dirt out before school's out and call Zero Res. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com. Mention ESPN Asheville to secure this deal today. That's ZeroResAsheville.com.
I'm Mark Starling, and this Medical Minute is brought to you by Haywood Regional Medical Center. Do you know the signs of a stroke? May is National Stroke Awareness Month, and Haywood Regional Medical Center.
I think I'm going to make a graphic that just says, "Oh, falafel me."
Stroke is a leading cause of death worldwide.
And I'm going to send it to people when we have an email stream back and forth until I ask them to do something for me, and then they ignore me.
About your stroke risk, and make sure you exercise daily.
Okay.
Diet.
Oh, falafel me, cool.
And know your blood pressure as well as your cholesterol numbers. When a stroke does happen, it's essential to get emergency care right away. Remember the warning signs. If you see face drooping, arm weakness, or speech slurring, it's time to call 911. With stroke care close to home, you can live your healthiest life. Are you at risk for a stroke? You can take our stroke health risk assessment at myhaywoodregional.com. You've been listening to a Medical Minute brought to you by Haywood Regional Medical Center.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Nationally.
Word has been out nationally, affecting all Americans.
Globally.
The world is on fire, folks.
Locally.
This just happened across my street.
For all the happenings.
Inflation.
Illegals, homelessness.
Crime. News Radio 570 WWNC.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
From the Ingles studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Live from the Ingles studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and you can join us in the chat here on the program as we continue with our off-season grades in the NFL. Doing two-a-days. Just like we're doing the top 100 prospects in 100 days, and the countdown to the NFL season, the top prospects for the 2026 NFL draft from Flostradamus. He's got another quarterback wide receiver duo, the third of the process here, for us coming up later on in this hour. One of the big winners of the offseason was the Las Vegas Raiders. Actually, Jeremy, they were your winner of the offseason, correct?
They were. It was basically a tie between them and New England, but the Raiders did more with less because they didn't lead the league in cap space the way that New England did. New England also spent on a couple guys that I thought maybe they overspent. That was really the tiebreaker. I loved what both of them did. If you look at the Raiders roster right now from where it was 2 years ago, it is shocking, I think, how good the Raiders are actually going to be. And they did it with a lot of young guys, too. They drafted a ton of players that I was super high on through the process. And that's saying something because they took Ashton Genty at 6, who I didn't love. I still don't love. But he's going to be a vast improvement over what they had. Your receiving core is better. Your running back is better. Your quarterback is light years better. I think your offensive line's going to be improved, if for nothing else, just because they got a year older.
Mm-hmm.
And, don't look now, but Charles Grant's going to be your starting right tackle, and it's not going to take that long. For them to figure out DJ Glaze should not be starting at right tackle. And then the defense, I think the defense has a chance to be really good. Mm-hmm. I know you don't agree with me on that.
I just don't. I don't have any trust outside of the pass rush. Outside of Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz, it's just kind of dudes to me.
Okay, so break
Eric
that down.
Stokes is – what do you mean?
So break that down. You were about to do it anyway. I cut you off with the pass.
I mean, to me, Eric Stokes is the best corner, and he's good, but I don't know that he's a one. I don't know that he's a guy that can anchor your secondary. Jeremy Chin was a guy who was good in Carolina.
Good in Washington.
I mean, he was good. Yeah. I mean, it's just, again, like, I don't know that it's special. It's just a guy. Devin White got there's a lot of question marks about that. I just don't know that you solved your problems. I mean, you got better. There's no doubt about it. And in terms of growth in roster, I guess, I have to kind of agree with you. I mean, if they're not the most improved team, most improved roster, then they're definitely in the top 2, 3.
I am intrigued to see what it's going to look like with Malcolm Kuntz and Max Crosby with their hands off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
With them standing up. And I think it can be a vast improvement. Not necessarily on Crosby. Crosby's out of this world regardless.
Mm-hmm.
We just did we're on our social media. We're counting down the 100 days to the start of the football season by determining who is the best player to wear every jersey number. Max Crosby may already be the best 98 we've ever had.
Okay. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
John Henderson, I think, was my answer. I loved Big John Henderson. But you're worried about the secondary. The secondary and the pass rush play off each other. I think converting into more of a base 3-4, and I think there'll be multiple. I don't think it's all going to happen at once. That brings in Tyree Wilson and gives you the ability to do things with him as well. And it gets your best players on the field. The pass rush is going to be so good that it can mitigate some of the secondary, and I don't think the secondary is as bad as you think it is. I love the safeties. I liked that Polamalu when he was coming out of USC.
Yeah.
I talked about – he was on the Amon-Ra St. Brown team.
Mm-hmm.
And now him and Chin, I think that's a formidable safety duo. Darian Porter is probably going to play here quicker than you would think.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will be a starter by week 6. And then that slides Jacorian Bennett probably into the slot. He's the smaller of their corners. I don't think it's as bad as everybody else does.
Yeah.
I liked Eric Stokes coming out of Georgia. I just thought I don't think he went to the best spot.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have that big off-zone corner with Pete Carroll, and I've read this book before.
Yeah,
I've just seen him do it.
That's the thing I keep coming back to was, to me, that was the best move you made all year, all offseason, was the coach. That matters to me more than anything you did roster-wise. Because you put a guy in charge that, well, frankly, knows how to win. Knows how to build a culture. And it's something that this team has lacked for a long time. I'm interested to see where this all goes with the young guys that they have, the young weapons that they have with Ashton and Brock. Throw in Raheem Mostert in there. They're going to be able to do a lot of different things on offense. Just yesterday, I think I was reading an article, or maybe it was this morning I was reading an article that, Jacoby Myers and everybody just, singing Geno Smith's praises. Like, well, yeah, because look what they had to play with last year. Of course they're all jazzed up about Geno Smith.
This just looks like a Pete Carroll roster to me. And I've seen him succeed time over time over time with guys that it looks like this. Maybe it's not the most impressive set of names. You said it was just dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it going, I can see how Devin White fills this role that player X played when he was in Seattle. And I can do that on and on and on down the line. And it looks to me like that defense is going to be pretty good. The offense is going to be vastly improved. I know you don't have Devontae Adams. I don't really care. I love Jack Betch. I love Jack Betch in the process. I'm good with all of it. I think this team's going to be vastly improved.
Mm-hmm.
And you mix in Geno's familiarity with Pete Carroll and just all of those little nuanced things. I'm also super intrigued by Chip Kelly.
Why is that?
Is it not a weird fit to you? Like when you look at Chip Kelly and just go, he wasn't the most successful guy in the NFL as a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's been successful at Ohio State, won a national title there, and then he leaves and he goes to a coach that he coached against when he was at Oregon and Pete was at USC. That's just really it's an interesting combination to me.
But to me, that shows a level of trust and respect, does it not?
That's what I'm saying.
That
two guys that have never worked together.
Mm-hmm.
I coached against this guy. I know how hard it was to deal with his offense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want. That to me shows it almost shows a maturity from Pete Carroll. Pete was really locked into his guys. That was one of the things that got him in Seattle, was that he didn't want to fire anybody. And I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. A team that, how many wins did they have last year?
Not many.
Was it 4? 5? Somewhere in that neighborhood? And now we're talking, hey, could they be in the playoff hunt? 4. They won 4 games last year.
I just think with the atrophy of the AFC, the improvement of the Raiders, I think they're going to be in that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we have 3 teams in the AFC South that are completely irrelevant. I think the AFC West is the best division in football. The AFC North is a reasonably close second. The only difference is the West doesn't have a Cleveland Browns and the North does.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots and the Raiders, to me, are the 2 teams that I look at and go, you were bad last year. You're going to be right there in the thick of it this year. I can't tell you either one of you are actually going to make it. I mean, because if I use history as my guide here, going Bills, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Texans, Chiefs, Chargers, that's not a hard way to get to 7 playoff teams.
Right.
That leaves out the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Would it shock me if it went that way? No.
But it's how close will that 6-7 spot be? And I don't think it's going to be by much more than a game. The last few weeks of the season really have a chance to be just drama filled in deciding who's going to be that last playoff team. Although, do any of them have a chance to make noise in the playoffs?
Define noise. Can they win a game?
Can they pull an upset over one of the big 4?
Probably not. But could one of them catch Houston? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Look, I think Baltimore is the best team in the AFC. I think Kansas City is going to be hard to beat. I think the Chargers are going to be hard to beat. I think Buffalo is going to be hard to beat.
Yes.
I'm not putting the Raiders in that territory yet. What I'm saying is that I think you're you've taken a huge step forward to get closer to that. And I'm just looking at the young guys on the roster going, a year from now, 2 years from now, that team is going to be really good. They have the makings of an elite offensive line. I mean, an elite offensive line. You know how much I liked Dylan Parham when he came out. You know how much I liked Charles Grant this last year. I talked about Caleb Rogers a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just see the makings of this team getting better and better and better. And, you know, we chalk this up a lot. We kind of compared Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick of, well, I mean, they're only going to do this for 2 or 3 years because they're so much older. Pete Carroll looks 15 years younger than Bill Belichick.
Yes, he does.
I mean, I'm not just going to chalk it up that Pete's going to go, well, I'm doing this for 3 years and I'm out. This could be a longer game than that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was a Raider fan, I'd be pretty excited right now.
Yeah, the only thing that's gonna depend on is winning. And I just wonder how good can it be. You got to count on a lot of things to click into place here for it to happen. Maybe they got the right guys. Maybe, you know, we've heard your arguments on all of the young guys that they have here, so maybe that can happen. But if that process takes, you know, if you're winning 7 games a year for the next 3 to 4 years, you're winning 7 to 9 games every year. Is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough for a 76-year-old Pete Carroll to say, yeah, I want to stick around for a little while? Regardless, it's going to be much better than it was. Forever, how long it does last. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Raiders, by the way, kicking off the season against the New England Patriots. And we'll talk about the Patriots, another winner of the offseason, coming up after the bottom of the hour. Take a quick break, and then when we return, it will be time for Jeremy to give us another couple of 2026 NFL draft prospects that made his top 100. And for the third day in a row, or the third episode in a row, I guess, they play together in college. We'll be right back.
The city.
Las Vegas. Vegas, make some noise! The event.
No, you're clear.
Thank you. All right, we'll come back and talk about the we got a super chat that I want to tie into the logo bracket that we were talking about.
To make history.
So we'll hit the super chat, talk about that, then go into the combo of draft prospects. Bottom of the hour, crimes, Patriots, and that's a week.
At 8.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be.
And I need to go chug a vitamin water because I'm feeling a little bleak.
From the
to
the kitchen, your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Looking for something fresh on Thursday nights? Join us at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue for WTF Thursdays. That's Women to the Front, a new live music series spotlighting incredible solo female artists. Every Thursday from 6:30 till 8:30 p.m. in partnership with WTF Fest, we're bringing powerful performances and good vibes to the stage. It's free, it's fun, and it's all about supporting women in music. WTF Thursdays at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Sarah Jessica Parker almost walked away from Sex and the City. She talks about that and a lot more on Are You a Charlotte? Plus, Snoop Dogg spills about his inauguration performance backlash, and trust me, he's got a lot of things to say about it with The Breakfast Club. And Aubrey O'Day, Diddy's former protege, joins Amy Robach and TJ Holmes for exclusive coverage of the trial that's gripping the nation.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
Mount
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this month's Parks Community Heroes, Corey and Kristen Short and the entire team at Silverados, who converted their music venue in Black Mountain into a donation and distribution zone in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Corey and his team founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated to providing essential support to our neighbors in need. Nominate your Parks Community Hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
We are back in the Sportsocracy. And, Jeremy, we have... Did you say we have a super chat that we need to get to here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. You want the good one or the bad one? Or the gross one?
There's not
they
a huge difference.
I think they're all the same. I think they're all about the same. Although you did like this one. All right, you can super chat us on the YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get into the chat.
I think we should make it part of your job moving forward. You have to find a new one of those every day and see how many days it takes before you find one that I actually like.
Okay.
I think we would be the kickoff of the 2027 season before you got one of those that I went, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Well, you see, that would be against the whole idea of the experiment here.
Oh, you're doing it on purpose.
Right. The experiment is to see what ridiculous things I can find.
Oh,
that's why when you said you kind of liked the Give Me the Money one, I was like, wow, okay. Well, I was trying for something completely different there, but okay. I mean, I get it being the best of the three, but.
Oh, if you really wanted me to hate that one, you should have played it. You should have played it first. And then I would have hated the other two even more.
Well, yeah.
Anything with an actual beat that's not played by a lounge singer, yeah, probably going to like it a little better.
Okay. All right, our super chat from Frankie Cleary says, can we get a late round UDFA draft bracket style? Minus TB12, because he would win.
No doubt. No doubt. So, and he was talking about what we did a few years ago. We had the wrestler bracket, which we still actually have to pay that off.
Yeah, we've never finished that.
That's okay. We'll tie it into our new podcast.
Okay.
What did we call it? Worthless aggression or something like
that? Something to that effect.
There was a Canadian group that had it, and they had posted a podcast 5 years. So guess what? Ripping off your name. Came up with it before I knew you existed. You don't count. We can do that, but we actually we were getting ready to unveil our summer bracket next week. So your timing was immaculate. This year, we're going to we will do that one after we do this one. So we can pay off best late round. So we go 7th round undrafted free agents. Best of all time. Sands, and Tom was in the 6th, so that would cut Tom out anyway. So we could have some fun with that. We're going to
take Brock Purdy out of that as well.
No, he can be in.
Okay.
He can be in. Trust me, he'll have some competition. There's some really good former undrafted free agents.
Mm-hmm.
This year we're going to do throwback college logos. The best of the best. And I got news for you. I'm sure somebody's going to go, that's a weird one. No, it's not. We're switching all of our imaging in the fall to throwback college logos. So we want to know which ones are the best. And there are some awesome ones. and Tank and I are going to unveil the bracket with a set of reels. We want your opinion. We're going to put a graphic up on social media tonight, and we want who needs to be involved. And the big boys are already there. Carolina's old school Ram is there. The old school Kentucky Wildcat. The old UGA has a great one. I don't know why you don't still use that.
The UGA with the baseball cap is the best.
It's really good. But there's a lot of good ones.
Mm-hmm.
There are some of them that I understand why you changed that. Some of them because they might be a little offensive. Especially to sensitive people.
That old what was that one we were looking? The old James Madison one. That actually looked like somebody drew it in paint.
It's solid. Kansas has one it's a little confusing. It's if you like long-legged birds, it's kind of like a, how do I describe this? It's kind of like a flamingo had a baby with a hooker. It's kind of the best way I can explain it.
What's a hooker? What?
The legs are very don't do that. That's a sexual pose. Don't do that with your bird.
What? The legs are crossed.
Yeah, but it's in the like.
He's standing like the Planters peanut guy.
Hey, you looking for a date?
How is that
it's got
sexual?
Oh well, I mean the Planters peanut guy. It's like what was attached. It's the reason that wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some good ones. Iowa has a turtle bird that's he's strong. I think LSU and Maryland probably have my two favorite older ones.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some good ones, and we're going to go through it. Kind of like Clemson's
excellent.
knockoff of the Pink Panther. You made him orange and thought we didn't notice? We did.
Yeah, we noticed.
Oregon State's I don't even know what to call that thing. It has very large teeth.
The beaver.
It's something.
It's
the first buck-toothed beaver in the history of time.
But beavers do have buck teeth.
Not like this.
Okay.
The beaver's teeth are half of its face, so I don't necessarily. I think you went a little overboard on that one.
Okay.
But there's a lot of good ones, and we're going to hash it out. Appalachian State, I feel like, is a great dark horse in this thing. Appalachian State's throwback is awesome.
For the old Yosef?
Yeah, with the little corncob pipe in his mouth.
The corncob pipe in his mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad one.
Hey, you know what it's not worse than? Buffalo. Buffalo just ripped off 4 logos, threw them together, and went, we're good.
Close enough.
And we really love The Rock.
Follow us on the social medias for that at the Sportsocracy. Also, we'll encourage you to. We'll be sharing this out as well. What we can of it, anyway, on the ESPN Asheville Facebook page. I want to encourage you to go follow that as well. We had 2 more winners yesterday or this morning, I guess. 2 more winners for Braves tickets. We will continue to give those out as we get them here in the Ingalls studio. But the Facebook page, a great way to learn about how you can win with ESPN Asheville. All right, Jeremy, you got 2 players for us today in the 100 prospects in 100 days countdown?
I do. This one is one that was pointed out to me that you should have the receiver this high. Surely to God you don't have the quarterback this low. And you're right. The quarterback does sneak into the very bottom of my top 100.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the top 5 for other people, which is insane to me. It's Cade Klubnik and Antonio Williams from Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I do not understand what you're all seeing with Cade Klubnik. I'm going to fight this probably all year long because looking at Clemson's schedule, I have a funny feeling this season's not. The win over LSU would be impressive. I'm not sure that's how this is going to go. Look, this Clemson team's really good. They're not super deep, though. And I think LSU's really good. By the way, how lucky are we that game is – the opening weekend of college football is so good.
I wish they'd have saved one of those games for week 2, though.
I don't, because I'm going to need a week to recover from week 1.
Okay.
I'm interested to see Cade Klubnik against that defense. Because, I mean, look, what a lot of people, I think, are doing is that they saw Cade last year do – he was improved. There's no doubt about that. Go back and watch that South Carolina tape and tell me you were really impressed by that, because I don't think you should be. Go back and watch that game against Pittsburgh. I don't think you should be all that impressed by that either. He got insanely lucky. They played 2 really honest-to-God real-life defenses, and they lost them both. I was not impressed by it. So, for me, he's in the low 90s for me.
But everybody's expecting the star turn, I guess. Last year wasn't that bad. He was still one of the top quarterbacks in the ACC, and you take another step forward as a former, top. What was he? Was he the top prospect in his class?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's right.
That sounds right.
So that's the only thing I can guess is how people got there. Was that it's the expected star turn, and they should run the ACC again or help run the ACC again.
They're the best team in the ACC.
Right.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. I do believe the ACC will be better, so I think you're going to get a better read on him. The question that I have is, how good is Antonio Williams actually? He hasn't done a ton up until this point, but I've seen it. I mean, he had, 900 yards last year? He had 11 touchdowns, though. Not the biggest kid you've ever seen, but he's really slippery. And so I'm intrigued to see how those two fare against a schedule where they have to go to Bill Belichick and North Carolina. They catch LSU at home right off the jump. I mean, that's as soon as we open the season, you play the toughest game on your schedule. You have to go to South Carolina. You got games with Duke and Florida State at Louisville. I think all of those teams are going to be good at the very least. I think some of them could be really good. I think Florida State's going – I mean, look, you call me a homer all you want to. I'm so far off the Florida State bandwagon at this point, it's pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that can be a vastly improved team. So Cade's going to get the opportunity to show you what he is. And putting in work, Bill Workman said that Klubnik was 2 behind Drew Aller. As a high school prospect.
Ah, okay.
Aller was ahead of him in most rankings.
Okay.
I think ESPN had him at 1, but I think all the others had Aller ahead of him.
Okay. Regardless, expected to be a star, and has not fulfilled that.
No. I think anybody that's honest about what they've seen so far out of Cade Klubnik, he has not been what you wanted him to be when he took the reins of this program.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as an older kid, he gets an opportunity to show you if he is that guy. Because, look, he's played a lot of football. This is a third full-year starter.
Mm-hmm.
And he played in the first year. Not a ton, but he played enough. I mean, he's got over 1,000 passes in his career. That's pretty high level for a kid coming in that's just a junior. So I'm intrigued by Klubnik. I don't think I'm going to fall in love with him at any point in this process. But I think he's going to be a talking point. He's this year's J.J. McCarthy. I feel really sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
That people are going to fall for things that just don't mean anything to me.
Yeah. And he will be at least as it looks now, could be the most overdrafted player in the next class.
Look, we're going to get a ton of quarterbacks in this next class. Mm-hmm. We just are. Even if Arch doesn't come out, you've still got Klubnik, you've got Aller, Garrett Nussmeier that I think is going to throw up ridiculous stats. Mm-hmm. He's also 23 years old. Sam Levitt that I like a lot. Lenoris Sellers. What's Nico Iamaleava going to be at UCLA? And then there's that second tier. There's a bunch of guys that could put themselves on the radar. Klubnik's going to have a lot of competition. It's just a question of, can he be what all of you are telling me he is? I'm trying to go into this with an open mind of he's growing over time. I have him here, but I'm open to being swayed. I don't think I will be, but I'm open to it.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Don't forget to follow NFLDraft.net for Jeremy's rankings and all of the things.
Our goal is to have the top 100 and everything up for the week of 4th of July.
There you go. So stay tuned to the Sportsocracy. Also, NFLDraft.net. 100 players in 100 days. NFL Draft Prospects Countdown. We'll continue that on Monday. When we come back for the break, it'll be time for the most important message of the day.
ESPN Asheville.
We're clear.
Thank you.
Forecast. This front coming in, bringing scattered showers and thunderstorms, tapering off mid to late afternoon through this evening. Some of these storms could be severe, especially to our east with strong winds and hail. Maybe an isolated tornado. 75 tonight will start to clear. Breezy 53. Isolated afternoon showers, thunderstorms tomorrow, breezy 73. Sunday, maybe a shower around, possibly a late thunderstorm 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by A. American Electric.
For over 40 years, A. American Electric has been family-owned and operated right here in WNC. With 3 generations and over 100 dedicated teammates, they are powered to serve our community. Homes and businesses can trust A. American Electric. Visit a-americanelectric.com.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the start of summer 2025. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Make sure you have the free iHeartRadio app in your phone today.
For the 2025 Atlanta Braves, it's time to dial in, which means every game means a little more.
First pitch, ground ball right side. Diving stop by Ozzie. Got him. Whoa, what a play by Albies.
Coverage brought to you locally by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Mountain's home for the Braves on Asheville's #1 sports station, ESPN Asheville.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, coming to you live, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes!
And Mexico is not one of the safest places on the planet.
That's a interesting way of putting that.
Just throwing that out there. That country has a big violence problem with Mexican cartels and such. I found this story to be awfully strange. 5 musicians who disappeared in the Mexican city of Reynosa near the U.S. border were murdered by suspected drug cartel members, according to Mexican authorities. 9 alleged members of the notorious Gulf Cartel have been arrested on suspicion of murder after the killings of the musicians. It says that the musicians were aged between 20 and 40 and often played at local parties and dances. Well, what could have drawn the attention of the drug cartel? It goes on to describe them as their name was Grupo Fugitivo, which my Spanish is not,
I don't think that's correct.
Level. Do what?
I don't think that's correct.
What do you mean?
I don't believe that's the way that would be said, but not from you. I think they have their own name wrong.
I mean, I would imagine that the translation of that is the fugitive group. Grupo Fugitivo performed a range of regional Mexican music, a genre which includes corridos, which are songs that have historically been used to pay homage to drug cartels and their leaders. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. Since it's not immediately clear whether or not the group has been targeted because of their music or if they were just caught up in, gang violence or the cartel violence that has, quote-unquote, long beset the state of Tamaulipas. It just made me think of that movie Desperado with Antonio Banderas.
Never saw it.
Oh, dude, that's a classic.
I mean, I know the song.
No.
Now riding fences for so long now.
I don't say Desperado. That's one of those nice little 90s action movies. It's pretty. I mean, it ain't winning any Oscars.
Let somebody love you.
It's just play stupid games, win stupid prizes, I guess. Don't sing songs about drug cartels. They won't target you.
By the way, Grupo Fugitivo is the correct pronunciation of fugitive group in Spanish.
There you go.
I learned something new today. I also learned something about 31-year-old Hassani Cacho. She may need to have someone investigate her mental state. She was at the Hilton Garden Inn in Washington, D.C. over the weekend, and she felt compelled by her deity to do something. She decided to start throwing liquor bottles at random people on the ground. That's not the weirdest part of the story. I told you her deity told her to do it.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest name I could say right here. Who is her, and I quote, Lord and Savior?
Alex Jones.
Michael Jackson. Yep.
Nice.
I also left out the point where she was naked, towels on the ground, and she started throwing bottles at people from her balcony.
Ah, okay.
Jumping back and forth on top of the hotel bar.
But Michael never threw bottles from balconies.
No. I
would not say that she is a smooth criminal.
Oh God, your puns have just made this a very long week. It's only 3 shows, and yet I am exhausted.
Yeah.
Putting in work said Britney Spears. Britney Spears would have also been an odd one.
Indeed.
That was actually, I'll give you this, that was a good pun. There are very few of those, but that one was solid.
I appreciate that. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Off-season grades continuing here as we count down the days to the NFL season. Hey, they announced primetime games for the preseason. Who's excited? One of the games, I think, was like the Titans and the Vikings. And I thought, that's an odd primetime game to me. Was that just a sop because, neither of them got a good share of, like, regular season primetime games?
Come on, Tank.
Because I don't think I would want to watch that in primetime during the regular season.
Come on, Tank. You're smarter than this. Week 3 of the preseason. What is week 3 of the preseason?
It's the dress rehearsal.
Who was the number 1 pick in the draft?
Cam Ward.
Ta-da. It wouldn't have mattered if they were playing the Vikings or if they were playing the Memphis Tigers. It wouldn't have mattered. That was getting a primetime spot. Because that's the one rookie quarterback that is playing a half or whatever the case may be.
Is he? Does he have to?
Oh, for sure. You want to get him some reps.
Okay.
And look around the rest of that schedule and find me the one that you're going, yeah, let's go. Because I'll go ahead and tell you, it's not there.
Oh, regardless, it doesn't matter. We'll watch it.
I do love that college football went, hey, you're going to give us a week between the preseason and week 1? Awesome. We're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at that. And then the weekend that you kick off the season, we're not going to give you squat.
That's how you hook them. Get them interested in week 1. They're all distracted the next week, and then back with a banger in week 3. Because if memory serves, I think there are a few great games on week 3 of that college football season.
Week 2, you can sleep through. Week 1 and 3, let's go.
Well, they know everybody's going to spend all Saturday and week 2 setting their fantasy lineups for the NFL.
No doubt. You're going to get fantasy drafts that Saturday because some people I'll never understand why people do this, but some people do have fantasy drafts the Saturday before the season kicks off, even after we've already had 2 games. I got invited into one of those leagues last year and went, no.
Y'all know this.
You had a month to have your draft, and you're going to do it the day before? No, I'm out. By the way, week 3, you get Georgia at Tennessee.
That's the one.
That's
the one.
You also get, a game that's near and dear to my soul. It's the Backyard Brawl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Eat Poop Pit.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that on the radio, but I want to.
Yes.
Real bad.
All right, the other off-season grade for today, one of the other winners, the New England Patriots. What was your favorite move that they made?
You're not going to like my answer because it wasn't a free agent. It was drafting Will Campbell. You did the thing you had to do, and I fought that. It was so funny how many people kept fighting me. The Patriots aren't taking Will Campbell. He's a guard. Okay. I mean, it's funny. I didn't get a lot right in the first round. I had that right from Jump Street.
Mm-hmm.
Will Campbell was to the New England Patriots the week of the Senior Bowl, and I never blinked from it. Because you had to. And now you look at this team. What's the weakness of the Panthers, or of the Patriots, right now?
The weakness?
The thing that's going to preclude them from winning 8 or 9 games.
I would probably say it would have to be Drake. It would have to be the lack of development in Drake.
I don't see one. I don't see a big fatal flaw in this team. People will point to receiver. I mean, they're 5 deep, 6 deep. Jalen Polk 7 deep. Efton Chisholm, which I still, A, great name, B, great place for him to land. They've got 9 guys that could legit make this roster, and it wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of talent.
But are they any good, and can you count on any of them?
You can count on Stephon Diggs. I think you can count on Kyle Williams as your 2.
If he doesn't get busted first.
Yeah, if he's, handing out.
Stop doing crimes.
Pink cocaine. You
Right.
don't need that.
No. You keep hanging out on the boat with Cardi B every weekend, yeah, you might get got.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to blame you for doing something that I could easily see myself doing if I was in your position. So, sorry, I'm not here to throw stones. I looked around. I'm not going to lie to you. I looked around that boat and I went, yeah, I could see a path where I'd do some stupid things on that boat myself if I was Stephon Diggs.
Which is kind of the point of don't do that. Like the first part of that story was Mike Vrabel has already talked to him.
Of course he has.
Well, of course he has. And I can't imagine how many falafels were thrown around in that.
Oh, I don't think that conversation went exactly how you think it did.
Oh, really?
Mike Vrabel might have said falafel a whole mess of times. And I'll bet you Stephon Diggs at the end of it went, what you going to do about it? You need me, dog. I took your money to come here. You kind of have to deal with this. Sorry. None of this should be surprising. Stephon Diggs has been a bit of a head case for 10 years. I'm not shocked he was on a boat in May.
I was going to say I gotta put up with it until you violate your clause that was the clause in the
What, the
contract.
morality clause?
The morality clause.
Yeah, we're going to talk about morality clauses on Monday. I'll bet you anything you want Stephon Diggs doesn't have one of those in his deal. I'll bet you any amount of money you want he doesn't have one of those in his deal.
I would be super shocked. I'd be shocked if
we're going to talk about Monday.
Standard in every deal.
Oh, we're going to talk about Monday. Don't worry. There's a big old story with a first-round draft pick that his team's trying to force one in there, and his agent basically said, I'll sit out the whole year if you keep trying to force this on me. Yeah, morality clauses, you think they're there? They're not. Unless you're a complete basket case, and I'm talking like Vontaze Burfict, Pac-Man Jones, that's who has morality clauses. Stephon Diggs doesn't. Especially not when he took more money to go to a team that he didn't really want to go to.
Right.
And if you don't believe me, listen to it out of his own mouth.
What, that he didn't really want to go there?
That the market didn't necessarily develop the way that he thought it would. Mm-hmm. He said it without saying it.
Well, back to the offseason grade. Yeah, yes, I would agree with those people that wide receiver would be the closest to you got a problem.
I'm not worried about it, to be really honest with you. I look at New England's weapons and go, okay, so maybe you threw a lot of excrement against the wall to see what sticks, but you got a lot of options here. You have a lot of options of guys that if it works out, it's going to be great. And that's what I'm looking for. Out of a team that's coming from, what were they, 4-13 last year?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And they have that. Did I love the money they gave Milton Williams? No. I love Milton Williams as a player. Do I think he deserves to be the third highest paid defensive end in the league right now? Not really. No, I really don't. Do I think he deserves to be the highest paid defensive tackle in the league? No, I don't. But he's the last one to assign, and I get how this game works. That's the reason I had the Raiders slightly above New England. They didn't overpay for anybody.
Yeah.
They got appropriate value on every single player they got. Now, if we're just looking at, if we were, and this is the only way I know how to quantify this, whose Madden rating got higher as a team? That's New England.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily see them having jumped 10 points because that's how good they have been in the offseason. The offensive line went from an absolute sieve to there's veterans up and down this thing.
Kind of steady, yeah.
I don't love Cole Strange, but you have 5 options to replace him if it doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
The receiver room, same thing. Your cornerbacks are outrageously good.
Mm-hmm.
This may be the best secondary in the league.
I look at, I think that whole defense could just be scary. With the secondary players that you have with Gonzalez and Carlton Davis in town now and Marcus Jones, and the safeties aren't bad, I don't think. I like Duggar. He's a localish guy coming from Lenore Rhine.
Mm-hmm.
Jabril Peppers, I was always a fan of his.
Which is funny because that's the guy that I like the least in that secondary.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I mentioned him last, though. I mean, I'm not saying he's great. I'm just he's a fun little piece. Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, Harold Landry. That's nightmare territory for a front four or front seven.
I'm not as bought into Landry as you are. I never have been. I probably never will be.
Okay.
But he's an improvement over what you had.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I keep coming back to with New England is look at where it started and look at where it ended. And it's just light years ahead. The pick that they had that I keep looking at going, how in this world did you get him in the 5th round is Braden Swinson.
Mm-hmm.
That kid's going to come in and rush passers right away. Between him and Keon White, that is a great set of sub-pass rushers. And Calebon Chason. Can any of the three of them really do anything else? That I don't know, but I don't really need them to. Randy L. had a good point. The secondary depth is not great. I could say that about a lot of teams. I mean, yeah, if you have an injury to Carlton Davis, that's not going to be fun. I still really like Marcellus Dial, so I think you have one. It's everything back behind that I go, woo. It's going to be a wooer if you get into any injury issues.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, I think New England's a playoff competitive team. I think they're going to be a playoff competitive team. They've got a playoff-level coach. I think you have a playoff-level quarterback. There's a lot to like about New England, and that's coming from a lifelong Jets fan.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We will be back with you on Monday. No long weekend this weekend, but we had a short week this week, so I guess we can do a full week next week, can't we?
Oh, about that.
Yeah, we'll be with you for 3 days of next week.
Preempted by the Braves.
Preempted by the Braves on Thursday. We will have a Womack Wednesday on Wednesday. The first Womack Wednesday is news or sports director from News 13, Chris Womack, will be joining us in the studio. Hopefully, we'll have some cool guests lined up for you as well. We're efforting that as we speak.
We're gonna have a cool guest Monday too.
Tuesday and
We're gonna have a cool guest Monday and Tuesday. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but it's let's put it this way: it is an active player in one of the 4 more major sports that has a local tie, and we're going to talk for a long time about some cool stuff that they're doing.
Excellent. I like it. So next week, just stick around. We'll be with you on Monday at noon. If you get hungry this weekend, don't know what to do, be sure to drop by our good friends at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. 2 locations in Asheville, 135 Cox Avenue, and inside Sweeten Creek Brewing on Sweeten Creek Road in South Asheville, conveniently located just for you, and they have some of the best meat you'll ever put in your mouth, and their bowls aren't bad either. Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, home of the Bear Bowl. It's one of the greatest inventions of all time, and not only is the Bear Bowl at the top of the power ranking of appetizers of all time, with the pulled pork and the mac and cheese and all that, topped with cheese and bacon and all that. But I think their collard greens may be number 1 in the entire world. Just my own analysis there. All of their sides are great. The meat's great. It's all a great time down at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. Check them out at bearsbbq.com. Ask them about their balls. We'll see you next week.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Thank you.
Mountain weather forecast.
This front coming in, bringing scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Now I'm going to go die.
This evening, some of these storms
I don't blame
severe,
you.
Especially to our east with strong winds and hail. Maybe an isolated tornado. 75 tonight.
I'm not far behind you myself, and I didn't even have to leave the house, let alone have to do it that early in the morning.
73. Sunday, maybe. Possibly a late thunderstorm, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by
Bojangles. It's always bow time.
The only thing you want after a Bojangles biscuit made from scratch with juicy country ham is another one. For a limited time, get 2 ham biscuits for $5. That's not 1, but 2 fluffy country ham buttermilk biscuits. Cravings meet savings. It's bow time.
How do you spot the all-new Nissan Rogue Rock Creek? Here's a hint. It's got all-terrain tires, a tubular roof rack you can't miss, and it's tough inside and out with lava red detail. You'll also find it in its natural habitat, climbing mountains, attacking rugged trails, and never backing down from any adventure. The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Always secure cargo. Heavy loading of the vehicle with cargo, especially on the roof, will affect the handling and stability of the vehicle.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
For more information about contests on this station, go to espnavl.com.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.